So we do what's Hondo on the mic from Leo's Paradise. Random stream drop like a Dragon Ball fight. No lie, plan stream stacking up, but here's a twist in time. Freestyling on the deck like Luffy's punchlines. Up the channels faster than Zoro sword swings. Gaming pop culture, it's the chaos he brings. Talking movie reboots, superhero hype. Hondo passing the mic, now Bishop's in sight. Cutting flip screen, frame by frame, I align. Laying bass lines heavy, keep the rhythm divine. Dropping 5 videos, can't keep up with the pace. Pass the mic back, Leo's leading the chase. Off the rails, no script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Playing a knob, Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. No script, just a freestyle ride. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life. The rails, no script, just a freestyle rhyme. Nerdcore king, let the randomness collide. Planning on Leo's got the flow to entice. It's words of paradise, the chaos comes to life.
Fab, when I'm running my own streams, I am always on time. Thank you very much. Welcome back to the lunch hour. How are all you vital idols doing? I'm feeling good, boys. Feeling a little roasty, toasty, but I'm feeling good. I may or may not have pulled another all-nighter. Such is the life. Such is the life. Yeah, may or may not have pulled another all-nighter, but it's okay, because your boy got green tea and caffeinated lemonade that's sugar-free and energy drink that's sugar-free. And needless to say, yeah, it's going to be one of those streams. It's going to be one of those days. But it's Thursday. It's the long show today, boys. It is the long show today. Not only do we got CNN calling out Hasan Piker. Not only do we got some Mario movie discourse. Background NPC dropped a new video. You know we love her shit. Nux Taku breaking out the England just fucking banned dogs. I'm sure he's being hyperbolic. But y'all know we gotta make fun of the UK when the time comes. So yeah, it's gonna be a wild show. It's gonna be a great show. Make sure to put some Sonic fan conversion camp donos in there, and let's see who we got up in this bitch. Adams Regina, which of course is Fab. Jack SG22s. Nicholas Patton is up in this bitch. You'll love to see it. And Matt Stanford is here. IB the EB is up in this bitch. What is up, IB the EB? Jeremy Hughes reviews. Clip 420 is here. I know there's more, y'all. Illuminous not missing me. Yowdy, y'all. Nick Havoc. We got the butter framed in gold. Shout out. Coach O'Dragon is here. You'll love to see it. What is up, Coach O'Dragon? Let's see. So many of y'all talking. I gotta scroll. Vagabond. And Vagabond became a member. Look at that. Vagabond and he became a member. You absolute legend. You know what? It's early enough in the stream. I'm being a little froggy because Vagabond runs a show that y'all need to watch. I swear it's not hentai.
Housekeeping's great.
I'm digging horsecock.
Is your cock a horse cock? You will never hear me say it nay. Ooh, as I speak more.
My favorite stallion I keep in my top drawer kinda goes hard though.
Cause there is no cock like horse cock. Send your asshole into shock and eat horse.
I don't know how we're going to ever top horsecock.
I swear that's probably the earliest we've ever dropped horsecock on this bitch. That's probably the earliest we've ever dropped some horsecock on this bitch. Adams Regina with a 5-banger. No matter what, you'll always be late and gay. But you know the word. Nah, I'm gonna read the word. We don't do that censorship bullshit up in here. Shout out, Fab. I'm gonna keep calling you Fab, because to me, you are Fab. What is up? This is for you.
How you doing, sir? Good. Can we talk to you? Where are you from? You live in New York?
Who are you?
Don Lemon.
You're a fucking moron, dude.
You love to see it. Thank you so much, girly. Truly appreciate it. Vagabond, no problem at all, homie. I'm happy to do it. Happy to do it. Grave is in the house. What is up, Grave? I saw the Chud King was here. Shout out to the Chud King. All right, crew. All right, let's just get into it. let's just get into it. I was going to wait, there's a few more people here. But I think we should talk about this out the gate. Actually, you know what? I am going to wait. There's a few more people here. Also, gotta do the obvious thing. Thanks, Leon. I was forced to censor myself. Okay, yeah, it's gay as fuck. It is the lunch hour. Hope y'all are getting plenty of protein. You know, your boy got that green tea with absolutely no sugar. Sinkai, how you doing, Sinkai? You Tui, what is up? So I was gonna start off with some interesting shit that went down last night after me and Hypno stream, but I'm gonna hold off. Till we got more people watching. So why don't we start with the Hasan Piker stuff? You don't think we start with some Hassan Epstein, Osama bin Laden, dog, shocker, fucker, Piker, some Hamas. Keep calling him Hassan. Hamas, Diddy, Epstein, Osama bin Laden, dog, shocker, fucker, Piker. Hasan has a problem now. Let's go.
Now, Hasan Piker might not be a household name, at least among adults, but ask your kids.
Among adults.
His new role as a midterm surrogate for some Democrats is proof that his political influence is expanding far beyond the streaming platform Twitch, where he has taken up residence. He is, without question, an online influencer with nearly 3 million.
I love how even when CNN, the Commie News Network, is talking about him, they still sound all snooty and stuck up like, oh, we legacy media are too good for these modern day bread tubers.
Followers. His rise as a prominent voice on the left is now driving a wedge between Democrats, and for good reason. Hasan Piker's past and
for good reason. Bro, the Commie News Network was like, yeah, he's pretty divisive amongst the left. For good reason. Yo, get fucked, you communist Turkish douche canoe. I hope your citizenship is revoked and you were deported back to the Sand People land.
Present is checkered with controversial, if not outrageous, if not bigoted comments like this one.
America deserved 9/11, dude. F it. I'm saying it. We totally put it on ourselves, dude. Holy shit.
The ultra-Orthodox...
Look, you gotta say CNN, they may be a year behind Nux, but they're getting to it. They're actually using the America Deserved 9/11 clip on regular-ass legacy media. Don't know if you heard, but the BBC are trying to turn people against dogs at the behest of Islam. We will actually be covering that today, Fab. We will be covering that.
Jews leaving Israel.
I don't understand why they always use the 9/11 one. I don't, because you can easily make an argument that American interventionism caused radicalization in the Middle East, which is what he's saying. Like, I feel like there's like 50...
L fucking take, Asmongold. L take. Why do they always use the 9/11 one? Because he said that America deserved a terrorist attack that left 3,000 people dead. It's not the same as, like the bombing of one of our, not that that's justified or okay as well, but it's not the same as like a bombing of one of our bases or something. This was an attack on innocent civilians. That's why they use it. L take from Asmongold. I get that he's trying to be consistent, be like, hey, this is what Hasan meant, but it doesn't matter. What he meant doesn't matter. What matters is what he said.
The other clips that are worse than that. Like, that's just my opinion.
Real hilarious. Okay?
Uh-huh.
If they serve in the military and then they get their untrained, inbred asses shipped into southern Lebanon.
Oh, I remember this.
Again, very funny.
You know, it's Hasan Piker calling Orthodox Jews inbred. Piker has also posted comments such as these, where he unequivocally sides with Hamas, calling them the lesser of two Israels compared to the government lesser of two evils compared to the government of Israel. Piker has since apologized for his comments on 9/11.
Yo, that's diabolical. Matt Stanford says the only thing more damaging than an out-of-context Hasan clip is an in-context Hasan clip. What up?
But he stood by the rest. He's accusing others of taking him out of context. In a Wall Street Journal op-ed, the leaders of the Democratic think tank Third Way write, quote, Mr. Piker is anti-American, anti-women, anti-Western, and anti-Semitic. No Democrat should engage with him. All should seek to push him to the fringe where he belongs, unquote.
I mean, anybody who does anything to try to like kind of minimize or delegitimize criticism of, or promote or provide any sort of like help to any of these terrorist groups, right? The Houthis, Hamas, Iran as a country, really is obviously anti-woman and anti-Semitic. I mean, really. I mean, because these people, Hamas doesn't want to kill Israel, people in Israel. They want to kill all Jews. The Houthis have it. It's literally in like their flag or like their like mission, like, like your mission statement as a company. Well, their mission statement says they want to curse all the Jews. I mean, it doesn't say all the Israelis. It says all the Jews. So, I mean, it's just categorically true.
He's right about that. L take aside from earlier, he was right about that.
Hasan Piker,
and they kill them too. Like, it's not like this is some person with opinions. I mean, they do also kill them.
Recently become an issue in Michigan. It's
Not
home to
good.
a competitive three-way Democratic primary for governor. Dr. Abdul Al-Sayed, one of the three candidates and a former CNN commentator, announced that Piker will join him for 2 rallies in April. His opponents quickly seized on that, slamming the decision as unacceptable, calling Piker not somebody that you should be campaigning with.
Well, the reason...
Bro, why he got such a tiny head? Like, guy to the right. Guy to the right got a normal head. Hasan Piker is like a reverse pop figure. Hasan Piker is an inverted pop vinyl.
And why they're probably doing this, there is a coalition of people that will try to make excuses for, allow, and then create inroads for Islamic radical extremism. And I think that Hasan does this. Like, there will never be a time where Hasan will side with America against radical Islam. This will never happen. And the odds are that this other guy is the exact same. That's the reason why they're doing it. It's actually that simple. And as soon as you, like, and again, if you don't believe what I'm saying, look in the past and wait in the future. And it will be proven every single time.
Moment when there's clearly a lot of pain and trauma across our state. Ardoni O'Sullivan caught up with Piker over the weekend at a No Kings rally in New York and asked how he fits into the Democratic...
Speaking of the No Kings rally. Did I tell y'all what happened on Saturday when it comes to the No Kings shit? So there was apparently some No Kings protests in my city. Saturday was my dad's birthday party. Saturday was Papa Idol's birthday. So I'm driving to his house. Leave my house at the same time as always. It takes about 20 minutes to get to my dad's house. I figured, all right, I'll leave. It'll get 20 minutes. I'll get there right on time. Because of these dumbass fucking No Kings rallies, it took me, instead of 20 minutes to get to my dad's house, took me 40 fucking 2. Took me 40 fucking 2 minutes to get to my dad's house. Because traffic was at a goddamn standstill because of these protests. And so I get to my dad's house, and I immediately start apologizing for being late. All the other guests and whatnot are there, including my stepbrother. And I tell my dad, yo, sorry I'm late. I not expect traffic to be like it was because of all the protests. He's like, protests? What protests? And I'm like, oh, there's that dumbass No Kings thing. And, my dad goes, oh, yeah, that's stupid. That's retarded. Well, later on that afternoon, he goes out. My dad goes outside and whatnot, and he sees my stepbrother's car. And he comes back in, and he texts me. He goes, lol, stepbrother has a No Kings bumper sticker on his car. Oh, I love my dad.
Party's future.
You have become an issue within the Democratic Party yourself. Tell us about that.
I don't think I'm necessarily an issue within the Democratic Party as much as I am an issue for a lot of consultants. I don't want fascism to win in this country. I don't want Republicans to win in this country. We can argue on the method.
Bro, Papa Idol's so based, Brew. Papa Idol's so based. Yeah, follow-up story. So obviously his birthday was Saturday, so the night before was Neon Leon. And it was a particularly hardcore episode of Neon Leon. A lot of you guys were there, you might remember. We were talking about Israel, the Middle East, and I said on multiple accounts, glass the whole Middle East. Just glass it all. So I'm at my dad's birthday. following day, and I say something about glass in Israel, and he responds with, "Why don't you just glass the whole Middle East?" That's right, Papa Idol. That's right. Yeah, and Papa Idol based as fuck.
Maybe you think that my worldview and my values and the policies that I want politicians to represent might be different than yours. But at the end of the day, I think we have the same goals.
I should note, I misspoke. It's a Michigan Senate primary, not governor
Yeah.
primary. Jonah Platt is with us. He's the host of Being Jewish with Jonah Platt podcast. Peter Hamby
Being Jewish.
is the founding partner of Puck News. And Peter, look, obviously he has said a lot of things that a lot of people find outrageous, and he called one Jew a Zionist pig dog. He has called Hamas the Palestinian resistance. He has justified October 7th and on and on and on. What does his influence tell you about where the Democratic Party stands today? And I guess,
there's a lot of fucking... the thing is that he is a representation of the coalition that's being built that is anti-American, anti-Christian, and anti-white. That's basically what he...
All of that. All of that. And you could throw in anti-male. You could also throw in anti-male.
He is. I mean, he's going to push for and advocate for things that will work against those things. Racial solidarity against white people, religious solidarity against...
Shadowbusters, who gives a shit about Hasan? Chat, why don't you explain? Chat, you explain. I can't be fucked doing it.
It's Christianity and ideological solidarity against capitalism and Western thought. That's what's going to happen. And the thing is that a lot of people don't want to say this way. You're Christian? No, I'm not Christian, but I want to live in a Christian country.
Correct answer. Correct answer. Obviously, I am Christian. But I want all the non-Christians to at least operate with what Asmongold just said. Frankly, I prefer if everybody was Christian. I would. I would prefer if the entire world was Christian. Or at least the entire white world, right? Look, Asians are cool. They want to be Buddhists, be Buddhists. You don't hear about Buddhists flying planes into buildings and shit. If I had my way, the whole world would be Christian. Definitely no Jews, no Muslims, right? Jews can be okay. They're better than Muslims, but I don't like Israel. Point is, even for the non-religious, y'all need to operate as if we were some Christian country. A Christian world, even. Even if you're not. You should want to live in a Christian world. Absolutely.
Does that make sense? And culturally, I think that there are a lot of people that are not really Muslims, but they're culturally Muslim.
Here's the dealio, War Wizard. Here's the dealio. Not the whole world. I don't want to crusade Japan to make them Christian. And here's why. Let me explain. If we crusade Japan to make them Christian, and we kill a bunch of them, then that means they don't give us anime anymore. That means they don't mean no more anime. I'm okay with a few million Japs rotting in hell if it means we get anime during my lifetime.
Muslims, right? They practice Ramadan. They, like maybe they pray once or twice a day, and maybe they don't eat pork, but they don't go to the mosque every week or anything else. Like, there's obviously very clearly a massive difference there.
Despite those comments, or because of those comments?
I think it's despite those comments a little bit. I mean, back to your first question, what it says about the party. I think Dr. Abdullah Sayed is looking for a lane in a...
Agreed, Garrett. Agreed. They're more or less culturally similar to us. Absolutely.
Three-way primary. He is slightly behind in the polling. And like a lot of Democrats and a lot of progressives, after the 2024 election, wants to connect with young people, connect with young men, go into our election.
Why he look like he is trying so hard to be a movie director from 1954? So hard to be a movie director from 1954. Is it because he went to a brothel that had underage girls working there, and back in 1954 you could have the casting couch with underage girls? Is that why he's going for that look? I can only surmise that Hasan Piker is trying to look like a director from 1954 because back then you could fuck underage girls to give them movie roles, and he's gone to a brothel that had underage and female workers there. The logic tracks,
Wants to connect with young people, connect with young men, go into the manosphere, go into the podcast space.
Yeah.
It just so
Wow,
happens
podcast.
that Hasan Piker is aligned with a lot of Dr. Abdul al-Sayed's views on healthcare, on taxing the rich and billionaires, etc. He is a Bernie, AOC, Zoran guy. But with that, he has a long reputation of saying all of the things you just played here. I was just talking to you before the segment. I mean, I think it is a risk for Abdul al-Sayed to have him come into the state.
He's not, because it's the same audience of people. It's really not for that guy. I mean, it's the same people.
Once again, Asmongold is correct. I like it when I can disagree with Asmongold. I do. We agree far too often. I like it when I can disagree with him. I don't think this will be one of those videos where I disagree with him, boys.
It's an obvious risk, but he is grasping for votes in a crowded three-way primary in a state, Michigan, which you remember from 2024, both in the primary, the Democratic primary, and the general election, has a lot of Arab and Muslim voters outside of Detroit, in Dearborn Heights, and Democrats have been suffering there, and I think he's trying to grab onto them. He's doing rallies at Michigan, in Michigan State, so he's trying to go after young people.
Well, Dearborn is another example of...
See, they even said on CNN, he's trying to go after young people. I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. CNN is saying it, and I'm just repeating it. Brothel, underage girls, Diddy party, and now CNN is saying he's trying to go after young people. Do with the information what you will.
Them trying to create a racial coalition and a religious coalition, and then vote and make decisions based off of that. I think this is the continual, this is the common thread between all of these things.
Guys, we're 23 minutes in. I think I've made no shortage of less than like 3 Hasan Pikers allegedly a child diddler jokes. I'm just saying.
It's so obviously the case. And it's so bad over there that they were worried about talking about the good thing that the Ayatollah Khomeini is dead. This is the guy in Iran that systematically killed thousands of his own people and has oppressed them for nearly 50 years. Well, not him, but, the regime has. This is like, it should be the easiest decision of your life. And why is it not an easy decision? Well, it's because you've brought a bunch of radical Muslims into the country that agree with him. That's the reason why. And I think it's obvious that's the problem. And it's a huge problem.
One thing I do want to point out, Jake, that you said in the intro, that he's not a household name, the Speaking with American Men project.
They doubling down on the he's not a household name. Bro, do you think, let's be real, do you think that after this was over, Hamas, Osama bin Laden, Epstein, Dog, Shocker, Fucker, Piker called his publicist and was like, yo, what the fuck? Because you know that he's got, we've seen that he has used his publicist to get positive op-eds made about him. I bet he melted down, bro. I bet he had an ultimate crash out after this aired.
Which was launched to study men by Democrats after...
Yo, what up, Hypno? How you doing, you beautiful bastard? It's been a good rest of your day. Hope you're having a good day, homie.
Yeah,
I haven't slept since we streamed last night.
2024
not so good.
Hasan Piker's name among young men. He's not well known at all. About half of young people don't know who he is. And then his favorable rating, he's -9%. He's underwater with faves. Only 20% of young men have a favorable opinion of Hasan Piker, and that's sort of...
Let's run that number back. Let's run that number back.
He's underwater with don't know who he is. And then his favorable rating, he's -9%. He's underwater with faves. Only 20% of young men have a favorable opinion.
Wrong. He says only 20% of young men have a favorable opinion of Hasan Piker. I want y'all in the chat to see if you can explain to me the reason why that's wrong. Because I know the reason it's wrong, but I'm curious if you do. Explain to me why he is only favorable with 20% of young men is an incorrect number. It should be very easy if you think about it. What up, Sevi? How you doing, little lady? It should be very easy if you think about it. Let's test y'all's logic real quick, say that 20% of young men have a favorable opinion of him. Give y'all that 10 more seconds, and I'll explain. See y'all racking your brain. The hamster wheels are turning up in the gray matter. I'll just tell you. Because of those 20% of males, because that's what they are, they're biological males. Bingo, bango, bongo, the Chud King got it, baby. The Chud King got it. They're not men. Yo, you a fan of Hassan, Osama bin Laden, Epstein, Dog, Shocker, Fucker, Piker? You ain't a man, bro. You might be a male above the legal age, but you're not a man. Johnny Boy, remember for 6 months, I would not be as shocked as Kaya came out he was a pedo. Yup. Allegedly. Allegedly. You'll love to see it. Let's keep going.
Of Hasan Piker, and that's sort of why I say, is it worth the gamble to do this?
Interesting. And Joni, in that Wall Street Journal op-ed that I talked about, the think tank Third Way, they wrote, we're all for a big tent, but the Democratic Party needs to draw a line in the sand. Hasan Piker and his fellow Jew haters belong on the other side. Donny O'Sullivan asked Piker to respond to critics who call him anti-Semitic. He quoted a few things that Piker had said, especially a Zionist dog or Zionist pig. Or, I think the actual quote was Zionist pig dog, whatever that means. Here is Piker's response.
I've spent my entire professional media career and far beyond that combating anti-Semitism. I've been doxxed.
Did you ban the people that were spamming hearts for the manifesto of the person that murdered 2 Israeli diplomats in cold blood? Did you ban them in your long career of combating anti-Semitism? No, you didn't. No, you did not. So, you know, like, well.
Fab over here. Dumb liberal women that don't know what's good for them. Hey, dumb liberal women, you know what's good for you? A good dicking, making a dude a sandwich, shutting the fuck up and letting him vote. Letting him vote for you. That's what's good for you.
Swatted by neo-Nazis for my consistent advocacy against anti-Semitism. I just also happen to be an avowed anti-Zionist. I believe Zionism is a very racist ideology. It's an ethno-religious supremacist ideology, and it's the underpinning ideology that has caused the genocide of Palestinians in the hands of Israel and also the United States.
I wonder what Hamas thinks about other ideologies. I wonder, you know, like if Hamas was in control, do you think that there'd be any Jews? Goodbye, Jews. Yeah, I wonder, guys. Oh, wow.
I just want that little bit clipped. I want that. I'm sure I could find a way to work in goodbye, Jews into some sort of super chat clip or something. Someone isolate Asmongold saying goodbye, Jews for me, please.
Wow, it's a big mystery.
States of America.
Jonah, there's a lot to unpack there. What's your response?
Yeah, I mean, what Piker does that a lot of people of his ilk do is they try to inoculate themselves against claims of Jew hatred by pointing it out in places that aren't them. He's been very clear pointing things out on the right. Oh, that's anti-Semitism. These are the tropes they use. And then he'll use the exact same tropes and just sub-Jew for Israel, which is the place where all Jews collectively have a connection to.
I want y'all to realize what's happening right now. I want to lay this out as clearly, cleanly, and succinctly as possible. Hasan Piker is such a fucking loser. He's making CNN look based. I want you to think about that. CNN right now sounds like they are full MAGA simply because they're reporting on what a fucking loser Hamas Piker is. It's an evil world we live in, boys. It's an evil world we live in, son.
And is the homeland where more than 50%.
Isn't it crazy that they can't even have one country, some shithole that's the size of New Jersey, Israel, they
and yet somehow a bigger shithole than New Jersey.
Can't even have that. I mean, bro, think about, like, god damn. People are just not having it. Just let them have it, man. God damn.
Percent of Jews on planet Earth live. So it's
Right.
not, he would never say Jews control the
they get
media,
kicked
but
out
Israel
again?
controls the media.
The 110th country is going to be Israel. Oh my God.
And, you know,
Right.
the Jews didn't pull us into the war with Iran and control the American government, but Israel does.
Yeah.
And so he's able to sort of get away with some of this stuff in these subtle ways when really
He's not able to get away with stuff in subtle ways. He's able to get away with it because he's Twitch's golden boy and Dan Clancy's riding his fucking meat. That's what it is. There's nothing subtle about it. It's the opposite of subtle. He gets on his stream and he actively says, hey, why don't you just kill sitting Republican senators? That's not subtle. Dan Clancy just taking a meat ride on the boy. That's all it is.
his impact is just as harmful as any out-and-out anti-Semite. Just he's got a different name and he comes from a different wing of politics.
It's interesting.
Y'all remember that scene with the what's the actress's name? Why am I blanking on her name? She's riding the thing in the fucking in the grocery store, and the dude's like looking at her from the food court. Why am I blanking on that Hollywood body's name? Chat, I know you'll give me the girl's name. If Zax were here, he'd do it. In fact, if Zax were here, he'd be very upset. Spaghetti. That Jennifer Connelly. Thank you, Michael. Jennifer Connelly. There we go. Dan Clancy is Jennifer Connelly, and that little toy machine is Hasan Piker, baby. That's an image for y'all's mental. Dan Clancy is Jennifer Connelly, and Hasan Piker is that little put a quarter in it toy machine.
Politico asked a bunch of Democratic politicians running for president, or who might run for president.
It's pretty simple. If you can't unequivocally condemn a group of people that...
If girl riding that thing in the grocery store was too vague for you, then sorry, you ain't seen enough movies, you ain't watched enough fucking manly streams. You ain't watched enough fucking Circle of Jerks or What's Good Wednesdays if that was too vague for you, son.
Who are openly advocating for the extermination of a race of people, then you have a problem. It's very simple. Like Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and the Iran government, the IRGC, these are radical genocidal organizations that will try to not only purge their own people, but then also go out and purge non-believers that are outside of their own community as well. If you can't unequivocally condemn that, then you've got a big problem. You've got a huge problem. It's such an obvious reality, and Israel isn't. You can condemn Israel too. You can say Israel's bad too. But if you don't have those other ones on the list, then I think that you've obviously got a bias, don't you? It's totally fine for you to condemn Israel. That's totally okay.
Would ever do his podcast. And the only two Jews thinking about possibly running for president, Rahm Emanuel and Josh Shapiro, both suggested that they might be willing to.
I think this gets to something important.
No, Jeremy. No, she wouldn't. I love Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a great movie. She's not good in it. Like, objectively, her acting is atrocious in that movie. It's just a great movie despite that.
Important with this debate in Michigan. It's different to go onto his podcast and joust over ideas. I think seeing Josh Shapiro and Hasan Piker on his Twitch stream would be fascinating. I think Josh Shapiro is smart and they would have a spirited debate, as we say in politics. The difference is going out to campaign with somebody and the candidate, it's implicitly endorsing his views or suggesting, why don't you come to Michigan and campaign with me? That's the difference. I think candidates should be able to go on to podcasts with people who disagree with them. But yeah, I mean, the politics
I think he's right about that. There being
Israel
a
heading into
distinction.
2028 are going to be fascinating. You're already seeing tons of Democrats kind of come out against AIPAC, but also defending Israel. Gavin Newsom obviously had to walk back, calling Israel an apartheid state. The other thing that's a factor here, the more...
No, please. Please keep calling Israel an apartheid state. Because this is the dealio. Look, I don't like the fact that Israel controls the goddamn country. I don't. Because let's be real, they do. Israel got kind of a stranglehold on the U.S., and I don't like that. But the more that Gavin Newsom calls Israel an apartheid state, the more we can absolutely be assured that they will not allow him to be elected president. Like, and you know what? Silver linings.
Democrats engage with influencers heading into 2028. They're going to have to confront some views, things they might have said in the past.
Quick one sentence.
That's true. I mean, yeah. And a lot of creators, the thing is that, like, whenever you do a show on TV, you're live for, like...
Yeah. She's not a bad actress, by the way. She's not a bad actress, but that was her first movie. She was young. She was like 16 or 17 when she filmed Labyrinth. She just hadn't really learned how to act yet. Like, she's not a bad actress in that particular movie because she was so young. It was so early in her career. She is doing a bad job in that movie.
An hour. Whenever somebody live streams, they're live every day for like 6 hours. So the probability that somebody says something that's bad is like extremely high. Like basically anybody who ever talks about social issues on the internet in an unscripted live format has thousands of clips, at least hundreds of clips of them saying something that in a vacuum and sometimes even objectively sounds really fucking bad.
Hi, guys. Hi.
Like, this is just the reality of having long-form talk radio, basically. And you're going to say things that, you know, out of context might sound really bad, and some things that even in context sound bad still.
Final thoughts on this? You worried about the direction of the Democratic Party?
How many times have I talked about wanting children to die? like, I bet we could get a solid 1 hour long Leon compilation of just all the times I've talked about wanting children to die.
You?
I'm worried. I
Will
agree that
again.
they should be able to debate, but they have to come in clear-eyed and know that they're...
What do I mean by bad job? Well, acting is a job. Acting is a skill. In that particular film, because she was young, because she had not honed her skill, she is performing the skill poorly. Now, that's no shade of the movie. Again, Labyrinth is a great movie. I love Labyrinth. It is, if I had to list top 5 80s movies, Labyrinth is probably in that top 5. I love that movie. But she is not doing a good job at her craft of acting in that movie.
There to debate and push back on these bad ideas, not to get it chummy and have a fun conversation.
Thanks so much for being here. Great. What a great time to be in LA to have you both in studio. Really amazing.
Thanks, Jay.
Oh, boy. Well, there it is. We'd be watching the Artemis 2 launch in around 4 hours. Will I be watching the moon launch? Yes. Absolutely, bro. We going to the moon today. What the fuck you talking about? Of course we're going to watch that. Duh. Like, what are you, dumb? Hell fucking yeah. So, has done so much damage to the left, it might as well be considered a right-wing ally. I think that, I mean, again, Hasan is only one person.
Not bad actress overall, just not too hot in Labyrinth due to her being experienced. Yeah, and I mean, you see that with a lot of child actors. You know, or not even just child actors. Like, I mean, she was a child actor, she was underage. But you see that with a lot of actors. Leo DiCaprio's a great example. Most of Leo DiCaprio's early work fucking sucks. Now, he's got some bangers where he was objectively incredible, like What's Eating Gilbert Grape. But, like, Romeo and Juliet? Dude, he does awful in that. Awful. He does not get the tone of Shakespeare whatsoever. You could argue whose fault that is, his, the directors, things like that. It's largely irrelevant. A lot of people that are great actors, they've got shaky performances. Even the greatest actors have shaky performances. Look, my favorite actor, at least in the modern era, is probably Hugh Jackman. And Hugh Jackman's had a shaky performance or two. So yeah, I love Labyrinth, and Jennifer Connelly's a good actress. But in that particular movie, partially because she's young, you know, inexperienced, her acting is just in and of itself bad. Rewatch the movie. If you haven't seen Labyrinth in a while, rewatch it. You'll realize she's not very good in it. That doesn't, again, take away from the movie being a good movie. But she's not very good in it.
Right? I think that there is the fact that he represents that group of people that want to bring third worldism into America.
Man, we are so...
Oh, there we go. Didn't want to go into that yet. Oh, wait, we're not even watching. This isn't even the right next video. Whatever. Anyway,
Now, Hasan.
There we go. Here it is. There's the video. Make sure you give it a like, the whole 9. That was awesome. That was awesome. First 40 minutes of the stream, just dunking on Hamas, Osama bin Laden, Epstein, Dog Shocker, Fucker, Piker. You love to see it, dude. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. What a loser. When even the commie news network CNN is dunking on your tiny-headed ass, you fucked up, man. You did. Yeah, broken clocks, baby. Commie News Network, broken clocks right twice a day. And if they're going to be right about something, I would like it that they're right about what an abject failure Hasan Piker is. Jennifer Connelly is a sweet horse of American woman, and we all saw her boobs. Sure did. Sure did. Alrighty. Alright, where we at? Let's see. You know what? Before we get to the next video, I'll go ahead and talk about the news. There's enough people watching now. There's enough people watching. 70 live right now. So, yesterday, we did that reaction to Mia, who was reacting to me. And then it was great. It was awesome. Then after the stream was over, our stream, we rated her. I don't know how many of you were here for the raid or around for the raid, but there was a bit of a situation. For those of you guys that don't know. So when we raided, she had stepped away. And her chat, her mods were informing me, kind of freaking out, that she was dealing with the police. She had a very suspicious package shipped to her direct address. So last night, her and I got on a Discord call. We talked for a bit, me, her, and her mods. That's why I'm bringing all this up. I've got her permission to do so. In fact, she kind of asked me to do so. Not like asked like in some sort of like weird way, but like, you know, I asked her, hey, is there anything you want me to do to talk about or anything like that? And she's like, if you want to spread awareness. So yeah, that's really what it boils down to. There's not really a whole lot to say. I mean, police report was filed. She's taking care of it. But yeah, there's some bad actors out there. There's people that are actively taking this online bullshit, like just her thoughts on LGBT, this, that, and the other, all that gay shit that no one fucking cares about because it's 2026. And they're taking it from trying to get rid of her channel, get rid of her account, basically, you know, ruin her livelihood. They're taking it into the real world. So yeah, just I guess the reason, you know, bringing it up, like I said, we talked about it for a while last night. She's awesome. She's super cool. Again, we hadn't really had much interaction beyond like a few messages on X and reacting to each other's videos and stuff. So just make sure you support her. You know, give her support. Watch her streams when she's streaming, as long as I'm not also streaming at the same time, of course. And there'll be updates as they come. Yeah, she's a good egg. She was a good egg. She was an absolute sweetheart to talk to last night. A bit too nice. She didn't go near as hard as your boy, went. You know, when it comes to talking about all these tranny, loony lefties and shit like that. But she's learning. But yeah, so, you know, keep an eye out. Support her. Shit goes south, things like that. If it goes south, you know, like I said, that's really all there is to that. So the side that champions women send a malicious package to a woman. That tracks. Yup. A malicious package plastered with trans flags and the Black Lives Matter fist. She didn't want to watch a video, so that justifies harassment. Yup. That's exactly what it is. She didn't want to watch a video, so that justifies harassment. The idea that means some freak out there has her address. She thinks she might know who it is, or at least who the X account it correlates to, but doesn't have any proof. So, but yeah, like I said, she and I talked about it last night. Wanted to talk about it on stream today. To be honest, I don't want her to get political. I just want the more political streamers at the balls share their opinions. To be fair, Alessis, she did ask me for my advice. She asked me what I would do. I told her to double the fuck down. I won't lie. I told her to double the fuck down. I told her to make fun of gays and trans people even more. I told her say ridiculous, offensive shit because eventually, like, it's a war of attrition and they will give out first. So while you might not want her to be political, you say you'd advise the same, okay? Because like, I don't want her to get political. I was like, oh, well, I told her to double and triple the fuck down. So I don't know if she will or not. I don't know if she will. She said that's what she wanted to do. She just didn't know if it was the right move. I said I think it's the right move. So you may be seeing an evolution of it, even more based Mia as life goes on. Who's to say? Who knows? But yeah. Jealousy, vindictiveness, manipulative, etc. All trademarks of far-left women. And trademarks of far-left men who are cosplaying as women. Don't be like Neville Chamberlain to appease Hitler. Look how that turned out. Better to double down and appease to say sorry. Bingo, bingo, bongo. Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, hopefully it all goes well for her. Yeah, and she was super nice, super cool. She, we'll see about maybe sometime in the future having her on the show or something like that. I don't know. She got her own shit going on. I don't want to trouble her with that because if they think she'll be getting canceled for the stuff she says on her show, just wait till she comes into the Lion's Den that's our show, baby. Mia seems like a nice gal, but she ain't no leaflet. I don't know if she's ready for the smoke that she could get coming on saying the shit we say up on here. Yeah, yet is the operative word, War Wizard. She ain't got her thick-ass skin yet. But that's why I kind of want to bring her on. Kind of want to force that change, you know? Trial by fire. Trial by fire. That should be hilarious. Dude, can you imagine the content she would get out of being on my show? I let clip anything you want. Clip anything you want. Use it for your own content. You want to really double, triple, quadruple down on these tranny, lefty, loony troons? You come on my show, we can say some wild shit. Leon has the inward pass, you can let her use it. You good goddamn right, son. You good goddamn right. Let the leathering begin. The thickening of the skin. Be like being pushed into the deep end. Hey. Watch your language. Watch your motherfucking language. Pushed into the deep end. You know what you did. You know what you did. But yeah. Super cool. Super great. Can't wait for her to meet Cindy and Amalgamite. Dude. Cindy was talking to me last night. She's like, oh my god, we need to hang out with her. She seems awesome. Yeah, Cindy really liked her. I think she likes Cindy too. That's sick. I'll put her in my prayers. She's so sweet. Karma is a bitch. Karma absolutely a bitch. Matt Funcool, shout out. What up? What up? But yeah, that's about the size of it. Leon gets madder than a wet hand when you bring up the ocean. You know what? You gotta be bringing shit up like that. You may as well fucking super chat. Goddamn. You gotta be being a dick like that. You may as well super chat. Goddamn. All right. So that's the update on the Mia stuff. Want to do my due diligence. Talk about that for a minute. And we'll see where it goes. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. England just fucking banned dogs.
Communist Muslims, suspiciously, are everywhere. Not only is communism not at all a trait of the Quran or in Islamic doctrine in any way, but communism is anti-biblical in literally every regard.
To be fair, I can make an argument for communism coinciding with radical Islam because the end goal of both is for everyone to be fucking dead.
Take money from the people that earn it and give it to the people that don't. You don't actually own anything. The state owns everything. These are concepts that don't exist in the Bible. These are concepts that don't exist in Sharia law either. But suspiciously enough, we have an invasion of communist Muslims in our countries because communism also just wants to overthrow governments, and all these Muslims also kind of want to overthrow governments, it seems. Not saying that all the Muslims want to overthrow governments, but the communist ones definitely do. And so do the religious ones. And so do the ones that send them here. And so does the Muslim Brotherhood. A lot of Muslims. Not all the Muslims.
Hashtag not all Muslims. Fab with a two-banger. How's the ocean, Leon? Have a nice swim, bro. My white ass was exposed on stream. I wore the wrong kind of pants for that shit. I wore the wrong kind of pants, bro. I'm pretty sure I blinded some motherfuckers with my white ass.
Fun a lot of
Thank you for the 2-banger. War Wizard for a 2-banger. Just sending waves. Just sending waves. Yo, what a dick. We're over here trying to make fun of Muslims. We're over here trying to make fun of fucking Muslims and brown people and Doomcoons, and y'all be sending waves and shit. I hate y'all.
You can call me Islamophobic, but you can't call me a liar. So Hasan Piker out here, every single day he shows up to talk about how much he hates America and refuses to leave. This is talking about Turkish citizens wanting to remain neutral in the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran, etc., etc. And Hasan is like, Turkey is the funniest NATO nation. The population absolutely despises America, and Israel can't blame them. It's pretty awesome stuff.
I wish more NATO countries hated us. I wish more NATO countries hated us. Because then maybe we get somebody in power who had the fucking balls to pull out from NATO. NATO's fucking worthless. We don't need to be there. Nope, they're already gone. I be the EB. I unlisted them last night.
How he's just like, he'll wake up, he'll go on the timeline, he'll be like, wow, I fucking hate America. Anyway, this is how we're going to pervert and destroy it while making believe I'm some sort of patriot. He'll really love America after mass immigration concludes. The caliphate of America.
Amanda, you could have just stopped after I live in Canada. You could have just stopped after I live in Canada, and I would just assume the rest is insert some sort of shithole comment that fucking sucks because Canada's a joke.
America is exactly what Hasan always wanted, and the reality is that is exactly.
Regina, what are you doing? 2-banger, waves, sharks, laughing. We're about to shit on the UK and the Muslim invasion. Why are you doing this to me? We're about to shit on the... You love it when I shit on the UK. I do these UK segments just for you. Well, you and my other UK viewers. But I do this specifically for my UK viewers. You get no respect, I tell you. You get no respect.
Exactly why Muslims always vote left. Muslims always vote left because left wants to destroy the actual country. Left wants to bring in more Muslims, so Muslims always vote left. You see it with Hasan Piker, with Mehdi Hasan, with all the fucking Hassans. All right, Sneeko wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders and voted for Zoran Mamdani, even though he makes believes he's right-wing. All right, the reality is clear. They'll vote for the party that wants to import infinite Muslims and overthrow Western civilization. Not every Muslim, but a lot of them. People are already typing that I'm a bigot, and unfortunately, they don't realize something. I have a superpower. I actually don't fucking care if you call me a bigot. I
have an even stronger superpower. See, Nux doesn't care if you call him a bigot. Calling me a bigot makes my nipples so hard. Calling me a bigot makes me all hot and bothered. Oh, get up that shit. Call me a bigot. Do it, I dare ya. I double dot dare ya. Call your boy a bigot.
I know I'm not a bigot, and if you think I am, I actually don't give a fuck. Besides, if I'd have to pick bigot or evil retard, I would pick bigot, and the left is the other side of the coin. Now, this is the hilarious nation of Turkey, okay? Hasan's talking about how hilarious Turkey is. All right, so this is a story in Turkey about a woman in Turkey was forced to marry the man who raped her. He then raped their 4-year-old daughter. The court dismissed.
You had the nerves to say I was Brits can't smell color, and you asked where's the respect? You still on that? That was yesterday. That was some old shit. We're on some new shit. Tough but fair.
The case, she started protesting and demanding justice. She and her daughter were both found dead.
You know, I went from laughing quite profoundly to they were both found dead. Timing. War Wizard for a 2-banger. Nope, not gonna. We're progressives. Fuck now. I'm trying to maintain composure, people. These women are dead.
What a hilarious nation, am I right? I don't even want to play it. It's just heartbreaking, absolutely.
Reminder, this is what New York voted for. This is what New York voted for.
Heartbreaking. Hilarious nation, ladies and gentlemen. Just a hilarious nation. I'm really glad that these people, let's just recap. Dude rapes a woman. They force her to marry him. They have a daughter. He rapes the daughter. They start protesting, and they both get killed. But according to Hasan Piker, it's just the most hilarious nation because he can't blame them for hating America and Israel. Wow, I'm really all offended that these guys hate America. Just heartbreaking stuff. I don't know if I'll ever recover from this news. Now,
you guys remember the reason that NATO even exists, right? Or no? Remember? No, either way. You guys know why NATO exists? NATO existed just as a safety net, as a safeguard against a re-rise of the USSR, the Soviet Union. You think Turkey gives a fuck about a re-rise of the Soviet Union? Let's be do you think that Turkey gives a fuck if communism comes back in the Soviet Union, Russia, USSR? No. So why the fuck is Turkey in NATO? Better question, why the fuck are we in NATO?
Hasan Piker, all right, now ironically is having the worst day of his life. All right, because the hilarious thing is Hasan Piker has been running a specific narrative for like the last 3 years, and it's been pretty wild. All right, the narrative is Hamas terrorists don't rape.
No, it wasn't Nazism, it was communism. Jada Warlock.
The way that I think a lot of people do this, always reshifting the attention back to October 7.
You know the thing that started the war that got all these Palestinians killed? Yeah, that makes sense.
Reshifting it back to like the trauma and the atrocities of October.
Not the atrocities, all right? This is a terrorist organization and they need to fucking die. Killing terrorists is awesome, actually.
October 7 over and over again.
Based.
And
what do you mean over and over again? That started the war. Israel decided that, yeah, now we're going to have to kill terrorists, and that's awesome.
Spreading misinformation.
I can do you one better. There, Fab. See, Fab says NATO is about as useful as the League of Nations was. I'm going to do you one better. NATO is about as useful as League of Legends players.
In the process as well, like, you know, mass rapes that took place. And
right, so classic misinformation that there were rapists. I mean, yeah, they were terrorists. They mass murdered 1,300 civilians. They strangled children with their bare hands. They murdered like 40 dogs during the October 7th massacre. All right, but rapes, please, they would never rape. It's a fake story. It's fake news. It's fake news to get them to be upset at terrorists. It's fake news. And he repeated this constantly. In fact,
Dota 2 supremacy. Shout out.
In fact, he made his point even clearer when he said he doesn't even care if there was rapes. There wasn't rapes, but he doesn't even care if there was rapes.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
Same, Doberman. Same. Never played League of Legends, never will.
Right.
So that's the other part of this problem that many people...
Right, so this is the Hasan Piker fallacy. Rapes didn't happen, but even if they did happen, I don't actually care, which is pretty diabolical. I'm really glad he says the quiet part out loud. By the way, he's not banned on Twitch or on YouTube. Pretty weird. Now, interestingly enough, the UN just confirmed that the unthinkable happened.
The unthinkable is that this is a real fucking person. What the fuck are we looking at? Yo, this looks like a partially rendered female character model from a PlayStation 2 game. And not even one of the good ones. One of the ones you'd have bought for like $5 at Big Lots. And she's definitely big, and there's lots of her. Yo, this can't be real. This is not a person. This is unfinished code.
Reasonable grounds to believe that conflict-related sexual violence, including rape and gang rape, occurred during the 7th of October.
This is the United Nations. Mega anti-Israel, anti-America United Nations.
Attacks in at least 3 locations, namely the Nova Music Festival site and its surroundings, Road 232, and Kibbutz Reim. And in most of these incidents, victims were first subjected to rape and then killed. And
she's even moving like an NPC from a video game. She's like bobbing her head up and down, like she's stuck in some weird like loop animation. Like this is what happens when DC not only gender swaps the penguin, but also race swaps it. Now you got like Latina penguin, El Pingüera, or something. Whatever the fuck. I don't know how you say penguin in Spanish. I'm not Mexican.
At least 2 incidents relate to the rape of women's corpses. With regard to the hostage.
Yeah, so there's Hasan running defense for corpse rapists. Pretty good shit, huh? Wow. Really, really awesome stuff. This guy's lecturing us on American morality.
At least 2 incidents relate to the rape of women's corpses. With regard to the hostages taken to Gaza, we found clear and convincing information that sexual violence, including rape, sexualized torture.
Man, we need to import infinite of these guys into our Western countries immediately. Man, don't.
And let them run what was once the shining jewel of our entire country, New York City. Yep. It's just let one of these monsters run the city. The greatest, or what was once the greatest city in this nation. Bro, more and more I identify with Kane Parker. For y'all who don't know who Kane Parker is, Kane Parker was the second iteration of the Scarlet Spider in the Spider-Man comics. And you want to know what he did? Y'all want to know what the Scarlet Spider, Kane Parker, did? He pieced the fuck out of New York. He went to Dallas. Dallas, Texas. Did y'all know that Dallas, Texas had their own Spider-Man? Yeah, the Scarlet Spider, Kane Parker. I respect Kane more than I do Peter. Peter a bitch. Peter's sticking around in Zoran Mamdani, Muslim New York City. Ain't gonna be a whole lot of tall buildings to swing from, Pete. Not when the Muslims blow them all up with inside help from our government. Yeah, I'm going that Kane Parker route.
Do you think England would look better if they had a couple of these brave Hamas rapists?
Cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment has been committed against captives. And we also have reasonable grounds to believe that such violence may still be ongoing against those still held in captivity.
Good shit. So yeah, pretty awesome. Wow.
Bro, what is up with all these Skyrim or fucking Morrowind NPCs on the news? Was it just like put fugly people on TV day? Was this all filmed on Trans Day of Visibility? Michael Doberman, I said the second iteration of the Scarlet Spider. Ben Reilly was the original Scarlet Spider. Kane Parker is the second Scarlet Spider. Don't you try and school me on my Spider-Man knowledge, son. I actually like the Clone Saga.
Hasan Piker knows better. He knows way better than that. He's a professional at rape, I guess. Sorry. There's only allegations that he raped a 15-year-old. All right, that's not been confirmed yet. Now, speaking of, it's pretty weird how this keeps happening. Wherever they go, rapes happen. It's pretty diabolical. Pretty weird how this keeps happening. Right, see this guy? This is a Bangladeshi Muslim immigrant named Mohammed Salahuddin Sheikh. He raped, murdered, and brutally dismembered Anastasia Rubijka, 27-year-old.
Y'all just making me like Russia a whole lot more. Anastasia Rubinska. How the fuck you say that? Y'all making me really side with Russia here. Were those Venom movies niggas? No.
Polish woman on a Greek island. He'd already been arrested. Dude, this is insane, man. It's every day. Every single day there's another story like this.
Oh, she was Polish. Well, that sort of changes things. She probably wasn't smart enough to, like, not go down the dark alley alone. Polish people not too well versed on account of their lack of schooling.
Meanwhile, Canada is fighting against the actual oppressive religion. Canada is criminalizing the Bible. Bill C-9, passed by Canada's lawmakers, is banning the Bible. Quoting scripture on marriage, sin, or God's design for sexuality can be prosecuted as hatred, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that beautiful? Import infinite retards with the most violent religion on the planet. Ban the Bible, because the Bible actually...
You say best looking women on the planet, and maybe, I mean, like... I don't know. South Americans, baby. South Americans.
He says that it's a sin for a man to lie with a man, so that's hateful, and God must be a bigot, according to Mark Carney. All right, but this is Canada. This is Canada. Once you stray from your biblical principles, you just collapse, and it's so wild watching it happen in real time. brand new Canada law passing. Yo, we got to take everybody's guns. You know, in Canada, where they already didn't really have guns, well, now they even need to take away the guns for the people that have licenses to have guns.
The declaration period for firearms owners is scheduled to end next week. So far, only 2.5% of the estimated 2 million affected firearms have been declared.
That's right. 2 million people have firearms, and only 2.5% of them gave them back. What are we?
Wow. Zax, if you're still watching, I'm proud of your country, bro. Jin T Maxi, if you're still watching, I'm proud of your country, girly. 98% of your citizens said, the ones that own guns, said fuck you to your tyrannical regime government and didn't give up their fucking guns. This number better not go up. I can't believe I'm proud. Bro, this is a stream of firsts. I'm praising CNN. Now I'm praising Canada. It's a brave new world.
What are you going to do with the other 97.5%?
And 98% of firearms owners haven't made a declaration. So if they're not declaring by next week, what's your plan, Minister?
Great question.
The RCMP.
This 67 IQ motherfucker, what? This is your minister of what? Minister of what?
And other.
This guy looks like a Canadian. He's probably been in Canada for the last, how many probably at least 10 generations of Canadians, this guy. Looks like it. We import people from the third world. They come to our countries, and then they rule us. Pretty wild.
Our agencies will be available throughout the spring and the summer to do the collection.
Beautiful. The collection.
And you're saying that your plan is over the spring and the summer to deploy RCMP officers to go door to door to firearms owners?
Y'all remember that scene in The Dark Knight? Y'all remember that scene in The Dark Knight when Morgan Freeman's like, talking to that little Weasley guy who's gonna blackmail Bruce Wayne because he found out he was Batman, and he's all like, so your plan is to, so you found out that this person dresses as a vigilante at night and goes out and beats up criminals and has insurmountable amounts of wealth, and your plan is to blackmail this person? Like, this guy is straight up Morgan Freeman in The Dark Knight right now.
And seize their firearms?
These are additional resources, so these are those who are...
Yes. He's saying yes. He's saying everyone that doesn't actually declare firearms, but whatever the fucking date is, October 31st, whoever doesn't declare firearms, they are literally going to get the royal...
Bro, October 31st. That's going to be an interesting trick-or-treat, baby. Trick-or-treat. Trick, bitch! Like, yeah. I better hear a whole lot of murder happening on Halloween this coming year in Canada. There better be a whole lot of tricks and zero fucking treats.
Canadian Mounted Police, the RCMP, to knock on their doors and seize their weapons from them. That's step one in conquering a nation.
Off duty, those who may be retired.
I just find that very concerning that we're going to be sending police officers door to door because, frankly, many police forces across the country are refusing to participate in your program.
Holy shit, is Canada getting based? Dude, is Canada slowly getting based? UK, what are you guys doing? What is the UK doing? Like, at least as it currently stands, based off what I'm seeing here, comparatively, Canada is doing more based shit than the UK. Homie, what? England. Used to rule the world. Used to run this shit. Used to own like 75 to 80% of the world. What's happening? Now Canada? The people that play curling and consider that a sport, they're cooler than you? You've heard of reform, right? Do you mean restore? I assume you mean restore. Yo, UK, you gotta fix some shit, bro.
And I think they have very good reasons to not want to participate in this program.
Yeah, true.
And putting people who are no longer serving as RCMP officers going door to door. Are you not concerned about this at all, Minister?
Well, I think you may not understand the full extent of the program, Mr. Lloyd. It's not a door-to-door program.
No,
it is
you don't understand.
mobile
We're
collection.
not going door to door. It's just mobile collection.
Will occur.
Hi, I'm a leftist. I don't know how words work, so I just kind of rework sentences to manipulate you. It's really.
And yes, no, I'm familiar with Restore. We've talked about Restore a few times on the show. Yes, I'm very happy with how the Restore movement seems to be going. I just hope something actually comes of it. You guys were already fooled once by Nigel the Weasel Farage. I don't want to see a second of that.
Cute, huh?
The program that we have in place is voluntary, it's strictly voluntary, so they're not compelled to take part in the program, although compliance with the law is not voluntary, and that, as you're...
Oh, you don't have to comply, but if you don't comply, it's not... but compliance is not voluntary. You have to comply.
Where, as of October the 31st, or 30th of this year, the amnesty that was extended expires.
So after that amnesty expires, what's your government's plan for those firearms owners that might still be in possession of these firearms?
Every police of jurisdiction will, as you're aware, need to enforce the law.
Look how scared he is to actually say what they actually plan on doing. They're disarming the people that actually have gun licenses, and it's not even easy to get gun licenses in Canada as is. We welcome in some of the most violent people from the biggest shitholes on the planet.
And make them your leader.
And then they disarm us, and then they conquer us. That's the goal. I mean, America, thank God, is a constitution. But we are literally the last bastion among a sea of absolutely cucked losers. All right? Air Canada CEO, this is amazing, resigns following backlash for posting condolence video in English only. This is
Sorry, I was muted. It's probably best I was muted, if I'm being honest. Dude resigns over only posting a video in English. The native language of the Canadians. Like, that French shit's gay as fuck. We don't count that. English is the only one that matters. Like, I get you Canadians don't say English good on account of, you know, throwing all these weird, like, aboot and shit in there. But close enough. The fuck are we doing, bro? The fuck are we doing? Is Sevi in chat? She was earlier. I don't know if she still is.
This is a fucking stupid country. Canada is a stupid, unserious country, man. Air Canada CEO resigns because he said, my condolences in English, but not in French. You offended a French guy somewhere? Like, are we being serious?
No, it's not French. You know it's not because he didn't post it in French. It's because he didn't post it in fucking Urdu or whatever.
And these are the people that want to lecture us on literally anything? Every fucking thing Trump does, we got Canada buzzing in our ear. Oh, I condemn these actions. They violate some random fucking thumb up my ass policy that I made believe I care about. We are being lectured by retards, and it's so obvious. All right, now look at what the UK is doing. They also have immigration issues.
All right, Fab, it's your time to shine.
Suspiciously, it comes with a really weird side effect. All right, you bring in the immigrants, and they completely dominate your culture. It's pretty weird when it happens en masse. Well, let's take a look into what the BBC is promoting these days.
I refuse to believe it's about the French, because the French don't matter. Valiant Goat, here's the dealio. I refuse to believe it's about the French because the French don't matter. The French can matter again once they start fucking taking baths, stop letting these Muslim usurpers in the country, and learn to not be shitheads to tourists, specifically American tourists. They're part of the reason for you guys actually having a fucking economy. Stop producing bad movies. Bad, slow, gay romance movies where every actor fucking sucks, and it's in black and white in 2024 for some dumbass reason. Take a goddamn shower. Make sure your bread isn't fucking stale. You're the culinary capital of the world, and your bread's always hard. Like, your bread can be used as a fucking dildo. No, French don't matter. French don't matter, and by extension, French Canadians don't matter.
Becoming too dog friendly.
Do we like dogs too much in society? This probably has nothing to do with the fact that Muslims fucking hate dogs and are scared of dogs and think that dogs are little demons. All right? It probably has nothing to do with that, all right? It probably.
From coffee shops, restaurants, and retailers like IKEA, Zara.
Hey, what accent is that? Like, I'm actually asking. This part isn't a joke. So some of my UK viewers let me know. Because that doesn't sound like a traditional UK accent, but I'm also no expert. He sounds like a foreigner who immigrated to the UK, learned to speak English, and now has like a half foreign, half UK accent. Am I correct in that's how it's sounding? That's how I'm hearing it? I need some of my British viewers. I am correct? Okay, I mean, Michael Doberman he's Canadian, but I'm sure he gets it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because that did not sound like naturally British.
Zara and John Lewis. Dog-friendly.
Meaning private-owned businesses that have policies that let you bring in dogs. You want to prevent private businesses. Understand how retarded and evil this is, right? This is the leftist communist axis, right? They think that they should be able to lord over private businesses. My stance is, if it's your business, you do whatever the fuck you want. If you don't want to bake a wedding cake for a gay couple, that is totally your right. It is your business. It is your bakery. You don't have to capitulate to anyone.
Correct. Correct. I'll go further. You have a fucking diner, and you want to run that shit like it's 1952 and you don't want black people in there? That's fine. Let the free hand of the market decide. If you decide to run your authentic 1952 whites-only diner, and then a bunch of people on the internet get upset spaghetti and they start spreading around that you're racist so people stop coming and you go out of business, that's fine. There shouldn't be a law dictating it. There should be no law dictating what you can and can't do with your own fucking business. Absolutely.
If you want to have a Zara store and let people come in with their dogs, that is your right. They want to institute a blanket policy forbidding private businesses from actually letting people in with their dogs.
Spaces are becoming easy to come by. There are 13.5 million pet dogs in the UK.
Okay.
Pump those numbers up. Pump those numbers up. How many people in the UK? Hold on. Let's... $70 million. 70 million. You guys only got 13.5 million dogs. Pump those fucking numbers up. Is the UK too dog friendly? Y'all bitches don't have near enough dogs. Y'all don't have enough. Get more dogs. And train those dogs to bite people that smell like Allah.
Okay.
And 36% of households own at least one dog.
Okay.
But people who are allergic to dogs or afraid of...
Allergic to... Get the fuck... I'm allergic to cats and I got 2 cats. You wanna know why? Because they're lovely and cuddly and fluffy and they make my blood pressure go down after I rage and zane out on streams and I get all up in my bed and curl up with my little kitties and I was like, oh, life is better now. And I push through... I don't even take allergy medicine. I don't even take allergy meds. I just play through the pain for the love of the game because I love my little feline compatriots. Fuck you. Oh, allergic to them. Shut the fuck up. Or afraid of them. Bitch. I don't want to hear about afraid. You let Muslim grooming gangs take advantage of your 9-year-old little girls. I worry about being afraid of that before fucking dogs.
Allergic to dogs. Get a fucking life. People are allergic to dogs, so that...
Yeah, who you think gonna rage more during this video? Me or Nux? Get a fucking life. Who do you think gonna rage during this video more, bro? Me or Nux?
then when they pet dogs and rub their face, they sneeze. All right, there's no dog allergies are not like peanut allergies.
And you know what? We need to stop putting warning labels on that shit too. Little fucker got a peanut allergy, bro. PB&J at schools. Fuck that kid. God dealt him a bad hand. Don't give a shit. We're not losing a champion. You could have another kid. Fuck a little bit harder. Pop out a better one. Peanut allergy. Let the little fucker go. We don't need him.
This is a literal non-existent issue. No one's like, man, I would go to England, but I'm afraid to go to England because if I go to a Zara and someone comes in with a dog, I might sneeze. This is a non-existent issue. I love how he says, or afraid of them, because that's the Muslim population.
Say that the rise of these dog-friendly spaces is a concern.
They're private businesses. Oh my God. If you would complain about the DMV, or whatever the British equivalent is, all right, I would still think you're evil and retarded for trying to conquer another person's culture. Don't get me wrong. But are you serious? Like, are we being serious for a second? You want to force private-owned businesses to forbid dogs to enter because Muslims might be offended?
Sad. One woman with the extreme fear of dogs told the BBC that...
Full stop. Full stop. See if you guys can figure out what's wrong with this sentence. Time to play Learning with Leon again. Let's play some Learning with Leon. One woman with the extreme fear of dogs told the BBC. Let's stop right there. What's wrong with this sentence? Animal dander is carried through the air. It's not an allergy from touch. Correct. That is correct. Bingo, bango, bongo. Jack SG22's got it. Jack is the first to get it. One woman. Full stop. Don't care. You're a woman, therefore we don't care about your opinion. That's simple. Yeah, all y'all in chat. Woman, one woman, one woman. A woman was talking. Who gives a shit what a woman... Exactly. All y'all are correct. The moment this said one woman, blank. Don't care. Especially your opinion about dogs. You know, we had a whole ass romantic comedy called Must Love Dogs. It was a movie geared at women because it was a romantic comedy. It's actually quite a good movie. I highly recommend Must Love Dogs, by the way. If you're a woman and your opinion is pro dog because you like the movie Must Love Dog, then you can talk. That is the criteria. I hand you a piece of paper. It's like a job application, but there's one question. Do you like the movie Must Love Dogs? If you check yes, you're allowed to talk. If not, shut the fuck up. Toaster bath. Butterframed in gold, gifting awards of Paradise membership. Shout out, you absolute legend. Thank you oh so much. This is for you.
Call it whatever, but if I made $1 for each time I made a racist joke, I would actually have $0. 'Cause I'm not joking.
Based? Based? Hello?
Women. God damn it. Women. Alright, let's hear what this woman had. Dude, it's the UK. We don't even know that it is a woman. Let's be real. They let dudes who rape women then transition after the rape go to women's prisons because they're a woman. So when he says one woman with an extreme fear of dog, we don't even know that it's an actual woman. This could just be a bitch, like a dude cosplaying a bitch in a dress.
That she feels trapped.
What was her name? What's her name? Look, man, my mom is terrified of dogs. She is scared of dogs largely because my grandfather is terrified of dogs because he was a Holocaust survivor and Nazis hunted him with dogs and that traumatized him. It's a really long story. Basically, they brought his town on a death march, okay? And they shot all the people of his town, all the Jews.
Well, if that's how the story ends, it is actually quite a short story, Nux.
Right, they shot all the Jews, and he played dead.
No, Sevi, this is the UK. This was not Canada. I mean, yes, Canada with the L. Canada just racking up them L's, but this is the UK.
Among the pile of corpses. And then they got dogs to sniff all the corpses to see if they were alive or dead. And when the dogs were sniffing my grandfather's body, all right, they didn't bark. And the Nazis basically left him there. And he sat there for a couple of hours until he got up and ran away. That was one little stint of how he survived the Holocaust. Since then, he's been deathly afraid of dogs, and my mother is too. She has never demanded that...
Was I muted again? Oh. Well, if I was muted again, my bad. I need to stop resting my hand on my mic. I keep accidentally hitting the mute button. Anyway, I was saying this one's Canada. This is the UK. This is the UK. Oh, god damn it. Was she fucking with me? Did she get me? Was I not muted? This bitch. You know what? Nah, we're moving on.
At businesses prevent dogs from entering the businesses because she's scared. This is a show of dominance. Okay, this is so obviously a show of cultural dominance. This is like literally get a life.
And only goes out on special occasions due to the lack of dog-free zones. She's
dog-free zones. How about you get some Muslim-free zones first? We can talk about dog-free zones after there's Muslim-free zones. By the way, let me show you guys what the Muslim-free zone should be. Here we go. Let's open this map real quick. Open image. There we go. This should be the Muslim-free zone. All of this right here. Like starting with this little point and go around all here. Around all here. You get all the way up here. Come down here. You get this little island over here. And you eventually get back to this whole point. All of that should be the Muslim-free zone. Once you do that, we can talk about some fucking dog-free zones.
She's one of the many seeking support in online groups who offer advice on how to avoid them.
Oh, she's in an online dog avoiding group.
Okay, guys, yes, make the world one as well, but like baby steps. You gotta walk before you can run.
Tear up the Constitution.
But a coffee shop owner whose brand is underpinned by the dog says that they're part of it. But a coffee shop owner who's...
How can you be afraid of that? Bro, how can you be afraid of that? That is basically an albino Ewok. That is an albino Ewok. How can you be afraid of that? Bro, in 1999, you could have bought that at Toys R Us. What sort of limp-wristed bitch you gotta be to be afraid of that? That is adorable. I'm sure it is a rat. I'm sure it is annoying as hell. I bet that is an awful dog. But it's so goddamn cute. Look at that.
His brand is underpinned by the dog says that they're part of the family.
Don't go to that fucking coffee shop. It's not your right to go to a coffee shop. This is unbelievable levels of entitlement.
What do you think?
I think that Muslims are taking over your country and you're weak and getting raped. That's what I...
Getting raped. It's funny because it's true.
I think. All right. In fact, this is the most mask off moment I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I think that this one clip alone should radicalize the fuck out of you.
We obviously have social media, which is a massive problem.
Banger start. Let me hold on a sec. I wanna show you guys something. Johnny with a 5-banger. At least when a dog poops in the street, someone picks it up. Oh shit. Oh shit, that was good. Well played. This is for you.
I know now that it could never work between us. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
Well done. Well done indeed. All right, give me one moment here. Let's just... Yep, there it is. So we got this. We got this image. I want to show y'all what actually is being done here. Where's the paintbrush? Here we go. Brushes. Oh, hold on. That's way too thin. That's way too thin. Okay, we got brush. How do we increase the thickness? I want more girth. Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You guys, you'll get the point. There you go. You see the N? You can see the N in the... Yeah, see, chat, y'all knew I was... The logo's missing the N. There you go. There you go. Y'all beat me the fuck to it. I was too busy looking for the increase girth button. But y'all got my point. Yeah. Demons. Coincidence? Coincidence? Oh, here's the increased thickness. There we go. Let's try this again now that I know how to increase the thickness. That's too thick. That's too girthy. There we go. There we go. Prop out for 2 bangers because said more girth. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, you know what? In fact, why don't we really pretty this up? There we go. There we go. Now we're doing it. Now we're doing it right. All right, where were we? Where were we? That's right. Let's get back to fucking making fun of Muslims in the UK.
Why is social media a problem?
At the moment for engagement. I'm tempted to say, you know, how you make your voice heard as a citizen in 2025 in the UK. Set up an X account and start writing some sort of nativist content, and it will go around the world really, really quickly. Your voice will be heard as quickly as you want it to be. Not in a way that I would be comfortable with, and I would suggest probably not in a way that most people on the panel this evening would be comfortable with either. But that is a really easy way to get your voice heard. Get some content about, you know, how you think immigration's too high or immigration.
There it is. There it is. Social media is a big problem because anyone could voice their opinion about immigration.
Yo, when are we just gonna invade? Right? When are we just gonna invade? I guarantee you, it would be easier to take over the UK than it was to take over Venezuela and than it is to handle Iran right now. Like, why don't we just invade you guys? For my UK viewers, and really anybody, one's in the chat if you think we should just invade the UK and just take it all over. You guys can have it back when you learn to be a country again. But I think at this point, Daddy America needs to come in and show y'all not to be little pussy-ass bitches. Yeah, Les's game's in the UK. He's like, I ain't against it. Combined says, hell yeah. Runaway Vagabonds is 1. Jackass is 1. Yeah, do it for the lulz. Right. You guys ain't got no oil. We doing it for the love of the game, son. We doing it for the love of the game. This bald eagle screams. You dig?
Holy fucking shit. This is like the quiet part out loud.
Is the big thing that's tearing the country apart, etc.
Yeah, it is.
That goes around the world because social media run by the world's richest man, X, is now making sure that you can have your voice heard in a really...
Making sure you can have free speech.
...easy way that you couldn't...
When do we get the Liverpool Tea Party? I like it.
In the past.
So they're trying to censor social media, ban X from England, because they're afraid someone might state that they don't like mass immigration. Like, this is the quiet part out loud. It's insane. British Prime Minister, MP, right? This is a member of Parliament. Alex Wilkinson says that X is a major problem because you can voice immigration concerns online.
And homie, like, what? Did you not think this wasn't going to go viral on fucking X?
Like, honestly, this should radicalize the fuck out of you. They're just so frustrated that you could have an opinion now, and the opinion won't get you jailed immediately or get you banned immediately. They're so frustrated that you can even engage in this conversation. Literally the most mask-off moment I've ever seen in my life from a member of a government. It's honestly insane. Now, listen to this. All right, so this is from what I understand, a left-leaning, like, news station talking about how...
Nux, we gotta have a talk. Look me in my eyes, Blue Jew. Every news station in the UK is a left-leaning news station.
Actually, immigration is a good thing, honestly. And this is a woman that calls in from London, and breaks me.
Oh, I live in the borough right next to Hillingdon.
Yep.
And so I moved into my house in 2019. My local shop, there's been 3 stabbings, 1 murder since then.
Wow.
My friend was murdered last year up on the high street. Girl I know was murdered in Southall Park. The government are failing us. I'm so scared for my children. I have a 22-year-old son, and I'm begging him to move out of the country.
Oh my goodness, I feel for you.
I'll feel for you. Uh-huh. Yeah. I bet you also advocated for bringing all these goddamn Duncoons. I don't want to hear it. I'll feel for you. Fuck you.
What are these politicians doing to us?
Why are these politicians doing it to us?
Putting our children in so much danger. They're putting everyone in danger, and they're not doing nothing to help.
Wow, she sounds Islamophobic. Lock her up.
And that's the thing a lot of us feel. That, you know, how many...
I will default to Fab. Fab says no, she didn't, Leon. Julia's pretty based. Maybe I'm wrong. Fair enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a few good Brits out there besides those of you guys that watch my content. That being said, I'm a betting boy. I see a female Brit on the computer, and I'm gonna assume she's a lefty because that's the safe bet.
How many is too many?
They're pushing us to do something that we don't want to do. We are peaceful people. British people never...
And that's your problem. And that's your problem. That you're a peaceful people. Again, y'all used to run the world. Like, I need you to understand, if this was, you know, like the 1600s, there was no such thing as a world war. Because the UK owned the world. A world war back then would have been a civil war, and it was all just the UK. A global civil war because it's all the UK. And look at you now. Peaceful people. You soft pieces of shit.
For a vote against their government.
Yeah.
They're going to push us to it because they're not listening to us. Our friends, our family are dying. I had a cousin murdered 20 years ago who was stabbed to death, and nothing has changed, Julia.
I'm so sorry, Sarah. I'm sure I speak for everyone listening and watching right now. My heart goes out to you, and that's the.
It's just the most heartbreaking thing in the world. And you have women calling in, crying on television that my family is getting killed and raped, and our politicians are selling us to the third world as fleshlights. They want to win elections. They want to get votes. They want to pat themselves on the back that they are anti-racist, and we are the sacrifice.
Man, I will say this about the UK. I will say this as a positive about the UK. You guys are a great advertisement for why racism is actually fucking awesome. Like you guys are the poster child of, like, racism's pretty fucking cool.
England is truly woking too close to the sun. This is a headline from today. Sadistic lesbian foster moms made boy 12 wear soaking wetsuit and joked, "Shiver, shiver, dumb fuck," before his horrific death. Murder trial hears.
Yeah, I don't have a way to make this one funny. I'm just gonna hit play.
Literally, what the fuck, man? When are we gonna realize and wake up and notice that all this woke empathy policy is fucking killing people? Empathy to the cruel is cruelty to the innocent. The reality is, people are waking up like never before.
All right, thank you for making it funny for me, Matt. Lesbians being violent? Shocking!
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
Thank you.
Breaking, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz announces 720,000 Syrian refugees will be repatriated within 3 years. The era of remigration is upon us. Germany's going to be safe again.
I'll believe it when I see it. Because as much as I've been dunking on the UK, and much of it's deserved, Germany seems even worse. Germany is... Germany has spent so many years being these pussy-ass little cowards. Oh, we're so sorry for World War II. Like, it's a joke. So you know what? There you go, UK. At least you're not Germany.
Planning on deporting 720,000 Syrians. Now, this is just an announcement. It didn't happen yet. Lots of things could change. But we're supposed to make believe that all humans are completely the same and all of our cultures are equal, and therefore we should invite the orcs into the Shire. And no matter how many hobbits get raped, the ruling class in their gated mansions do not give a fuck. Because the real question here isn't, are they going to succeed in deporting 720,000 Syrian refugees in the next 3 years? The question is, how did you allow the atrocity of 720,000 Syrian refugees in your country? How many German people did you sacrifice on the altar of diversity and inclusion?
What up, Anthony Wayne? What a strong way to end that video. Getting rid of dogs, I swear to Christ. What are the odds that actually happens? For my UK viewers, specifically for my UK viewers. What are the odds that actually happens? Because I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I legitimately would not be surprised if that does come to pass. With the way that your government, you say he's back on it already? I don't know, man. And you guys would know better because you're actually there. But optically, from the way it looks here in America, the way that you guys bow and kowtow to that Muslim termite infestation, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it happened. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Smash JT coming in with a membership. Shout out, Smash. You legend. He hit the turtle moves. The turtle doth, in fact, move. Shout out, Smash. This is for you.
There's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, you touch them back.
Legend. Appreciate you, Smash. Thank you so much. Man, where were we? Man, where were we? That's right. We were talking about how much we hate Muslims. Alrighty. Alright, let's move on from that. Leaflet dropped a video. Bring back the masculine 2000s. And I wasn't going to react to it at first, so I'm going to be real. I wasn't going to react to this because it's her reacting to Andy Pants Gaming. And Andy Pants is a fucking loser. Andy Pants is an absolute troglodyte. He is an actual grifter, mind you. Andy Pants is an actual grifter. He doesn't believe this shit. He says it and does it for clicks. But we're not reacting to Andy Pants. I want to hear what Leaflet got to say. I'm curious about her thoughts. I don't even know if she knows the history of what an absolute loser Andy Pants is. So I figured this could be fun. Plus, it gives us a little bit of that 2000s nostalgia throwback when things weren't so bad, when we still had, faith that God loved us, and we didn't realize that the Patriot Act was butt-fucking us with sandpaper. So let's go.
Why Everyone Wants the 2000s Back by Andy Pants Gaming.
We've all been haunted by as we tried to fall asleep at night. Why have video game budgets and graphical fidelity skyrocketed the past 20 years while games themselves have gotten objectively worse? At age 43, people tell me, you're just nostalgic. But then I see 20-year-olds preferring games from the 2000s to modern slop as well. Doesn't that pretty much prove these games were objectively better? Classics like Metal Gear Solid 3, Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy X, San Andreas, and God of War put modern slop to shame. But if games from the 2000s had less pixels, less hardware...
And he's like a filter, his double-edged sword. Well, it's not even like a filter. It's the fact that he's a liar. It's the fact that he's a liar. Dude was doing like full-on leftist content just a few years ago. Like, I'm sorry, I don't trust any motherfucker that hardcore radical 180s on their political beliefs once once it becomes socially acceptable to have those political beliefs.
Where less gigabytes, how could they possibly be better? This is the question I want to explore in this video, and I think it begins with understanding 2000s culture.
Oh, peak. Oh, peak.
If I had to sum up...
Leaflet just over here is just bopping. Leaflet just bopping. Leaflet, raise your model up, girly. We're just seeing your head. God damn it.
The 2000s in one...
well, Smash... I give you kind of a pass on account of you're in California. You don't know any better.
Phrase, it would be fuck your feelings. The 2000s was literally the opposite of our safe, overly sensitive. The 2000s was literally 2000s in one phrase, it would be fuck your feelings. The 2000s was literally...
Bro, we see the little man just take a dive, son. Y'all remember the 2000s? We could just, upside a midget's head, we could just smack a midget around. They're not people. They don't have rights. They're not real. Dude, we could have done that to Takeda with zero consequences. Not a hate crime in sight because he's more midget than man.
The opposite of our safe, overly sensitive 2025 culture
Yep.
today. Fear Factor threw people into pits of snakes. Jackass had people getting gored by bulls and firing bottle rockets out of their buttholes. American Idol had Simon Cowell tearing people apart on stage. Gordon Ramsay was putting bread on fat women's heads and calling them idiot sandwiches. Tropic Thunder was putting bread on fat.
I would like to remind you guys that in the 2000s, this was considered fat. Oh, how times have changed. In the 2000s, this was a big back.
Fat women's heads and calling them idiot sandwiches. Tropic Thunder had Ben Stiller making fun of retards and Robert Downey Jr. in blackface saying,
For 400 years, that word has kept us down.
Damon and Marlon Wayans made fun of white chicks. Nicolas Cage dominated the box office. 2000s culture did not give an F.
Yeah,
We pretty
that's
much
true.
peaked as a society, and some of the greatest games of all time came out. Resident Evil 4. What makes this game so iconic?
Andy, you're not going to get me to like it just because you're praising the GOAT of gaming, Resident Evil 4. I'm just saying.
Is it's
He's trying, though.
basically like playing a corny B-action movie from the 90s.
Hey, fuck you. Shit ain't corny. This bitch.
You're saving the president's daughter, you're fighting a giant fish, you encounter hilarious villains
God,
like
that's
Ramon
so
Salazar
true.
and
That's
Krauser.
so true.
The entire time, Leon is just flirting with hot women and delivering epic one-liners while doing backflips. The one word to...
Okay, well, when you describe the game like that, yes, it sounds like a cheesy B movie, but that is not... That's not... like... No, stop. That's dumb. By that fucking logic, Predator's corny. I don't like the way this is being phrased.
Describe this game as just fun.
Yep.
Although RE4 Remake is definitely better than most of the slop coming out these days, I feel like they took a bunch of the edgy stuff out, and I will always prefer the original.
There's no I feel like. They did. Like, objectively, they did. They toned down the death scenes. They took out Leon flirting. They took out some of the best one-liners. They removed the titty jokes. Yeah, there's no feel like. They did tone this game down. This game sucks, bro.
Original racing games. So I feel like the only racing games coming out these days are simulator type racing games, your Forzas, your Gran Turismos, with $10 trillion horse testicle shading, and honestly, I think they're boring as hell. If you're an old head like me, you remember when racing games were way edgier and funnier.
I don't think so, bro. They took that out. Took what out? That's what I said. Yeah, they took all that shit out. That's what I'm saying.
You're like Twisted Metal and Destruction
Dude,
Derby.
What I was saying, Anthony, was that he said, I feel like they did X. I'm saying, no, there's no feel like. It is objective fact. They took that out. The feelings are irrelevant. Oh, I feel like they did this. No, they did this. Full stop. And yeah, they removed the QTEs, and that shit sucks. Hey, Smash coming in with a 10-banger. Says, congrats on 10K. Well, shout out, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, you legend. Means the world to me. So you know what? This is for you. A total chud victory. Thank you so much for the 10-banger Smash. Absolutely fresh.
What I really miss
Twisted
is when
Metal.
racing games prioritized fun over realism.
Yup.
Fun is always more important.
Best driving game ever. You can keep your Need for Speed Undergrounds. You can keep your fucking Mario Karts. Even though I say that as I'm literally wearing a Mario Kart shirt. Cruising 66. I like Cruising 66. Best driving game ever. Motherfucking Crazy Taxi. You ready to play some Crazy Taxi? God damn it, I love this game. This is a top 5 all-timer arcade game, boys.
and
Crazy
realism, and I
Taxi?
feel like modern racing games have
Crazy
forgotten
Taxi
this.
was good, too.
Burnout Revenge is a
Crazy Taxi was so goddamn good that the Simpsons game didn't even do anything different. They just put Simpson characters in Crazy Taxi and changed the name. Like, that's how good Crazy Taxi was. Matt Groening was like, let's just do that. Do that, but with Homer and Krusty.
great example. This game is so insane and over the top. Each race, you have a different objective: wreck the most cars, take out opponents, finish the track fastest. The game just prioritized fun and insanity and wrecks, and it didn't care about realism, man. It was just fun. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit is another game from this era. You can call
Hot take. Hot Pursuit 2 is better than Underground 2. Everybody sucks off Need for Speed Underground 2. It's not that it's a bad game. But Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 is a better game than Underground. I'm just spitting facts, guys.
Call in helicopters, fire EMP pulses at other cars, and lay down spike strips. And every race is really intense. You're basically just either playing as the cops or playing as the bad guys, and you're trying to get away. Even all the way back on the...
I remember playing like an old Need for Speed game on PlayStation 2, and it was really fun. Forgot what...
Vescabino says wrong. Matt Stanford says preferred most wanted. Yeah, I knew I was going to have the minority opinion on that. I know. Oh, all right. Hot Pursuit was better. Some War Wizard. Vagabond, Hot Pursuit was a better game, but I would argue the PS1 was better than the PS2. All right. Maybe not as hot a take as I thought. Interesting.
Which one it was?
Original PlayStation, one of my
like
favorite
some
racing
street
games of all
racing
time
one.
was Wipeout XL. It had this badass techno soundtrack.
Twisted Metal's fine. I like the concept of Twisted Metal more than I actually like Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal is good. I know it is an objectively good game. I just don't really fuck with it. It's not my kind of game.
Just awesome music, peak graphic design, weapons you could fire, and close races.
Was
It's
it Most
It was
Wanted?
really a different era of racing games focusing on fun. Metal Gear Solid 3. MGS
It might have been Underground. I
3
don't
is
remember.
often cited as one of the greatest video games of all time.
I fucking hate the Metal Gear games, bro. I say that having only played the first, Metal Gear Solid, specifically the first two. Played the first one on the PS1. It's fine. It's fine. Played the second one. It's fine. My hate boner for Kojima is stronger than my appreciation for these games. My absolute hate boner for Hideo Prima Donna, Quentin Tarantino wannabe Kojima is so much stronger than my appreciation for these fucking games.
Because it had this amazing, edgy, and over-the-top story, coupled with some of the greatest gameplay of all time. I have no idea what Kojima is doing now, but this ain't it, Chief.
What?
Solid Snake in amazing boss fights, delivering one-liners, flirting with all the hot women, difficult and hard-as-hell gameplay that really challenged you as a player.
Man, I really don't like that I'm being compared to Razor Fist. He and I do share a few opinions. I can't fucking stand that guy. But he and I do share quite a few opinions. It is an unfortunate fact of life.
Was peak. Dead Rising 1 and 2. Dead Rising 3 and 4 were made by Microsoft and our dog water. So if you want to experience peak Capcom, I think you need to play
Okay, hold on. Roll it back. How do you say that?
Microsoft and our dog water. So if you want to experience peak Capcom, I think...
Did he say Capcom on purpose, or is he retarded? And yeah, Smash, Razor loves you. It's if you want to insult modern Capcom by calling them Capcom, that's fine, that's fair. But if you say peak, that implies this is when they were good. So to say Capcom, while also the joke doesn't work. Either he literally just mispronounced it, or he tried to make a joke, and that joke really falls flat because you're about to praise them. You're saying they're at their best.
I think you need to play RE4, Dead Rising 2, and Devil May Cry. Again.
No. If you want, now, mind you, Dead Rising 2 is a great game. Dead Rising 2 is a great game. If you want peak Capcom at their greatest, of all time. You got 4 games. You got the holy quad. What's the 4 version of a trinity? We'll just say it's a quadrinity. You got the holy quadrinity. Resident Evil 4. That's fair. You got that one right. Resident Evil 4. Devil May Cry 3. Devil May Cry 3. Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the SNES. And then DuckTales on the NES. That's right, son! We go all the way back in time, this bitch. DuckTales on the NES. DuckTales. Woohoo! Yeah. DuckTales, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Resident Evil 4, Devil May Cry 3. And if you want to throw a 5th one in there, motherfucking Okami. Okami. What about Marvel vs. Capcom? Here's the dealio. Marvel vs. Capcom. You want to go Marvel vs. Capcom 2? It's the best. Yo, shout out Taro. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the sub. If we're talking just fighters, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 might be the greatest fighting game of all time. Bar none. But if we're taking into account all Capcom's games, there's some that just eclipse it. They do. Smash has Mega Man 2. Man, you know what? If I was going to put a Mega Man game on there, if we're talking Capcom GOATs, if I had to put a Mega Man game, I would actually say Mega Man X. No shade to Mega Man 2, but I would say Mega Man X. Mount Rushmore is what I'm looking for. Yeah, Mount Rushmore is a good one. That's a good way to say that. Beautiful Joe's good. I like Beautiful Joe. Monster Hunter PSP. I'm not a Monster Hunter fan. I've tried to get in those games. They're just not for me. I'm glad that people love them and people like them. They're not for me. Final Fight is underrated as shit. I love Final Fight, bro. Final Fight is maybe my favorite side-scroller beat 'em up. I would take Final Fight over Streets of Rage. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but yeah, I would play Final Fight over Streets of Rage. Hagar is the goated mayor. He is. I always played Guy. I prefer Guy. But like you got Hagar, Guy, and Cody, and Guy was my go-to. So much so that when he got introduced into Street Fighter, he became my main for Street Fighter. I played him and Cody both a lot in Street Fighter. Speaking of fighting games, anyone heard of Them's Fighting Herds? Yeah, nope, I'm not.
I've never played Devil May Cry, like not even one.
God damn it, Leaflet, why do I love you? You make me so angry, you blue fucking slime.
What makes these games so good is they just didn't give a crap, dude. They were like, hot chicks? Yeah, of course. Funny dialogue? Of course. Edgy dialogue? Yeah, of course. Hilarious and over the top.
I don't like Mortal Kombat all that much. Here's the dealio. I grew up in a pick one or two, pick one and hate the other household. You pick Star Wars, Star Trek, I go Star Wars. Fuck Star Trek. Shit's gay and communist. You pick Marvel or DC. I pick Marvel because Spider-Man's better than any character ever in the history of whatever DC puts out. Superman pretty cool, but Spider-Man's the best, right? So, you're a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter household. Street Fighter all day. Street Fighter has the better story. Street Fighter has the better art. Street Fighter has the better gameplay. Street Fighter has the better stages. All Mortal Kombat really has is the fatalities, and that gimmick wears off fast. Street Fighter.
Villains and story? Yeah, of course. Badass and awesome weapons? Yeah, of course. But another thing that made 2000s games so iconic is often they're like really, really hard. For example, in Dead Rising 1, you could just run out of time in the middle of a playthrough of the game and you're just done and you have to restart. And I love how
God, the Dragon Quarter.
punishing and uncompromising old 2000s games were in this way. Crackdown. So Crackdown is a super edgy game from 2007 where you play as a cop just beating the shit out of people. It's wonderful. You run around and collect giant green orbs, which is just a viscerally satisfying thing to do. The edgy thing this game had was that different gangs correlated to different races. Ooh, we can't do that anymore because we're just pussified now as a culture.
Stargate's a different story, Jackass G22s. Do love me some Stargate. I agree. It's a documentary, by the way.
So the Shy Jin were a really funny Asian stereotype. Los Muertos.
Dude, he looks like the guy from he literally looks like the guy from Parappa the Rappa, like the first guy, like the Kung Fu Dojo master. That's like an
Onion guy. The onion guy from Parappa the Rapper. She's right. She's right.
Onion. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find the skills I teach you. I'm sure to beat you.
I, Jen, were
Bro, Levy be dropping bars right there, son. Roll back the clip. Roll back the clip. I gotta hear Levy drop some bars, bro.
Like the first guy, like the Kung Fu Dojo master, that's like an onion. Kick, punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find the skills I teach you. I'm sure to beat you.
I, Jen, were a really funny
Bro,
Asian
bars.
stereotype. Los Muertos were a funny Mexican stereotype. And the Volk were a funny Eastern European / Borat stereotype. I think what made later Crackdown games so bad is they took everything that made this game edgy and funny and just watered it down or removed it, so it really wasn't the same game anymore. Silent Hill 2.
No.
Overrated. Oh, I love Silent Hill 2, but two things can be true. Two things can be true. Silent Hill 2 can be both an amazing game and be overrated. Both can be true. I love Silent Hill 2. However, the best Silent Hill game, the one that everyone looks past, everyone looks over, Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4 is the better game between it and Silent Hill 2. I will stand by that. I will die on that fucking hill.
Again, the Silent Hill 2 remake is fine, and it's still better than most of the slop out today, but it's nowhere near as disturbing and good as the original. So
Wait,
just play the
how?
original. They had to make the main chick ugly because, of course, it's a bunch of gay.
She's not a main chick. I mean, I agree with the criticism they had to make her ugly, but she's not a main chick. I'm blanking on her fucking name. For me, it's the first Silent Hill and then 4. I can respect that, Taro. I disagree, but I can respect it.
Jews running things. But does anybody remember when you first encountered Pyramid Head and he's like strangling / having sex with one of those mannequins? It's like one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen, and I'm going to blur it out here on screen because you're probably not here for that. But my point is just
I'm here for that. Bro, I'm here for that.
Just how edgy and badass games in the 2000s were. Konami out here like, yeah, of course we're going to traumatize a bunch of 8-year-old kids with the most disturbing scene ever. Silent Hill 2 was the kind of game spoken of in hushed tones at the lunch table in 2001. Medal of Honor. So this one is...
I will never forgive Call of Duty for killing this franchise, bro. Medal of Honor was so good. Medal of Honor was so goddamn good.
It's kind of random, but I was playing Medal of Honor European Assault on the original Xbox.
Agreed, Matt. Medal of Honor over Call of Duty. Absolutely.
The other day. And this game is super patriotic.
And to be fair, I like the OG Call of Duties. Back when they were actually World War II games. Call of Duty 3 is great. Like, Call of Duty 3 is great. But man, what was the one that took place in the Pacific? Was it Medal of Honor like Rising Sun or something? I think it was called Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Sell Medal of Honor Frontline in the game team. Nice. Also, underrated war game. Operation Desert Storm. Operation Desert Storm. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Anybody remembers this game? Yeah, right here. Bro. This game was badass. This game was badass. So was Shell Shock Nom 67. And y'all ever play that? Shell Shock Nom 67. Bro, this game, like, look at this cover art. Hold on. Bro, this goes fucking hard. This is a banger cover art, dude. Shell Shock Nom 67. Randall Izana gifted a Words of Paradise membership, you absolute legend, and he hit the most you can have. And yes, Shell Shock was pretty much a horror game, like actual horrors of war. My grandma wouldn't let my grandfather play the game because she thought it would give him PTSD flashbacks. Like at the time this came out, this was supposedly the most realistic war game you could get on consoles. This game was stupid, bro. So goddamn good. So good. All right, I gotta give a clip real quick. Gotta give a clip. Let's see what we got. You know what? We'll give you this one right here.
It's the only time simping's okay is if it's for your wife. You can simp for your wife.
If you're cheating. If you're cheating, it's okay.
Yeah, hurry here first.
Thank you very much, Randall. I appreciate you.
Patriotic because our culture is just full of beta cuck soy boys now.
Yep.
And being patriotic is somehow considered edgy. Basically, the music of the game wants you to feel like you are this heroic American badass fighting in World War II. It's awesome. Another thing I love about this game is just how good it feels to play. The game wants you to feel like a hero. The way the
Look, I know I've got a bias against Sandy Pants. I openly admit that. But does anybody else feel like that was a really stupid sentence? Like roll this back.
American badass fighting in World War II. It's awesome. Another thing I love about this game is just how good it feels to play.
No shit, it's a video game. The thing I love about this game is how good it feels to play. You dumb bitch. People don't play video games that feel bad to play. Like, I'm sorry, bro. That was retarded.
The game wants you to feel like a hero. The way the guns shoot and move is really satisfying. I know Medal of Honor got dominated by Call of Duty starting in 2007, but this 2005 game really shows you what I think is sort of peak Medal of Honor before it went down. San Andreas, Manhunt, and Bully. So we all know Rockstar is gay, woke, and soft now because of all the women working at the company. We can see this in the safe, sanitized slop they have been putting into GTA Online the past 5 years. But did you know there was a time...
I played the sequel to Manhunt. I played, I think the sequel was on the Wii. So I didn't play the original Manhunt, but I played the sequel.
Rockstar was absolutely peak edgelord and constantly pushed the envelope. GTA San Andreas invented the famous hot coffee mod. Tons of sexual references in the game. Tons of violence. The game was brutal.
Yeah, there was a, if you don't know that, there was a whole scandal because there was a way that you could actually have sex in the game. Like, it was in the game. And then they took it out, but they didn't actually take it out. They just, like, flagged it so that you couldn't do it. But what happened was you could just use, like, you know, like Game Genies and shit like that to, like, actually, like, re-enable it.
And showed...
I don't like GTA games after the PS2 era. I know a lot of people love GTA 4. I don't like GTA 4. I don't like 4. I don't like 5. San Andreas is great. Vice City is great. Now, I don't like any of them at PS2. Catch you later, Shalmazan. Appreciate you.
Real life Los Angeles. And did you know San
Andreas? San Andreas was the best. San Andreas was like is the best GTA game, bar none.
This actually made fun of trans people. I wonder what the developers at Rockstar today that are all woke think about that now. Manhunt had absolutely brutal and nihilistic killing by the player. Can you imagine some 10-year-old playing this game on the screen and his parents walking in? Wild. Zooming out a bit more, I think what the PS2 and Xbox had was simply just variety. Guitar Hero.
Yeah. Did this bitch really leave out the GameCube as if the GameCube didn't have fucking bangers? You can't sit there and try and pretend that the GameCube was not also involved in this era. Bro, GameCube had Geist, it had Killer 7. GameCube was Resident Evil 4 wasn't a GameCube exclusive at first. No. No, get the fuck out of here with that. Eternal Darkness, there you go.
Medal of Honor, COD, GTA, Final Fantasy X, Soul Calibur, God of War, Twisted Metal, Jack and Dodge was simply just variety. Guitar
Oh,
Hero,
yeah.
Medal of Honor, COD, GTA, Final Fantasy X, Soul Calibur.
The best version of Soul Calibur is literally the GameCube version. You get all the way off the fuck my back about it. The best version of Soul Calibur, to be fair, Soul Calibur 2. He's got 3 here on the screen, but Soul Calibur 2 was the GameCube version.
Calibur, God of War, Twisted Metal, Jack and Daxter.
One of my all-time favorite franchises. One of my all-time favorite franchises.
Tekken, Simpsons Hit and Run, Kingdom Hearts, SSX, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Back then, we didn't have all these games that were just copies of other games. It was way more likely that a game would be unique back then.
That's
Possibly
true.
the
That's
most
true.
indicting number that it shows you what dog shit video games are now is the number of exclusive.
Michael Doberman, here's the dealio. I can respect that you don't choose PS2 because, frankly, Heihachi a fucking queer. Heihachi sucks. Link is a better Soul Calibur character than Spawn. He is. Spawn's cool. I like Spawn. I'm a Todd McFarlane fan like anybody else. Link is a better character for Soul Calibur than motherfucking Spawn.
Exclusives that came out. So the original PS2 had about 4,000 games. Of these games, some people estimate that about 1,500 of these games were exclusives.
It was a
to
reason
the
to buy
PS2.
consoles.
Guess how many exclusives PS5 has? Wait for it.
I imagine
Isn't it like 11? I'm pretty sure it's 11.
it's harder
15.
though. I
Oh, 15. Okay.
imagine it's so significantly harder nowadays. Like in the defense of game companies, I think it's significantly harder to. Well, not game company. I guess like the console companies. It is significantly harder to land this because the power of Steam is so high. And this is a good thing, obviously. This is great. This is great. But I think it's a lot harder to make an argument for like, hey, we'll be exclusive to this this console for whatever benefits. When
Nah, I think exclusives need to come back. I do. First of all, I play on PC, so I don't give a fuck. But for the plebeians out there that do play on consoles, well, you need a reason to buy the fucking console. Exclusives sell shit. But here's the dealio. Exclusives can only come back if you bring back the mascot era. Exclusives can only come back if you bring back mascots. Bro, mascots were console sellers. People didn't buy Xbox just for the games. They brought it because Master Chief was a fucking icon. Spyro was an icon. Sonic was an icon. I can go on and on and on. Bring back mascots, and you will make exclusives great again.
the power of releasing on Steam is like insane.
Dude. The PS5 has 15 exclusives, and the PS2 had 1,500 exclusives. And it gets even worse because have you
PlayStation has several mascot games, dude. Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter, Tiger Tasmanian Tiger, Sly Cooper, Attack and the Power of Juju. I'm sure there was more. Like those 5 were just off the top of my dome.
noticed how boring the exclusives that
Duke Nukem doesn't get? Duke Nukem's PC. Like, nah, I'm not knocking. I love Duke Nukem. I'm a huge Duke Nukem fan. One of my earliest memories playing video games was playing Duke Nukem 3D. But that's PC.
PS5 even has are Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, Death Stranding 2. These are all kind of the...
That's true. Spyro 2 was in fact called Gateway to Glimmer in the UK, which is so weird. Glimmer is the first level of the game. Ripto's Rage is such a better title. But yes, Gateway to Glimmer. It has a good ring to it. I like the name of the title. Gateway to Glimmer is a cool name. But that's the first fucking level of the game.
Same dog.
Glimmer does sort of sound like a gay slur. Y'all think we could turn Glimmer into a gay slur? I think we should just start using Glimmer as a gay slur. I like that.
Shit, third-person, over-the-shoulder, cinematic slop game, aren't they? They're just boring as hell. They take no risks. And of course, they're full of just gay
You love how the Outlier series got its start in PS2? Wait, that's not true. Wait, Outlier was PS1.
degenerate LGBTQ propaganda. I mean, compare these 4 games, which are supposed to be the best that the PS5 has to offer, and compare that with the catalog of the PS2.
Let's see. Time Splitters, Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid 2, Final Fantasy, Twisted Metal.
Used to have variety.
Bro, Dark Cloud. There's an underrated one. Dark Cloud.
Man. Developers actually use...
Guy disagreeing. None of the PS2 mascots at the level of Sonic, Link, or even Chief. I'd argue Kirby's more known than PS2 mascots. That's why All-Star... No, All-Star sucked because it wasn't a very well-made game. It's not because the mascots aren't there. Yeah, like, Kratos and Ratchet and Clank absolutely hit those levels. Yeah, well, I mean, God of War. I was talking about the character Kratos, but Kratos and then Ratchet and Clank as a combo absolutely are hitting on those same levels. Satin Boy was a great mascot for that era. The difference is they didn't continue those games in the vein of making them mascots. They changed the entire marketing around them. That's what's different. Yeah, Marcus Phoenix was a mascot. Absolutely, Marcus Phoenix was a mascot. Correct.
Used to care about what they were making, and fun was always the primary motivation of making a game. So what changed, boys? What killed 2000s culture and also killed video games? And it's quite simple. Redditors, soy boy beta cucks,
women,
progressive white women, LGBTQ...
Sid Meier's Pirates is a fucking classic. That game was incredible.
Degenerates, trans people, and Jews. The feminization of culture.
Dude, the fucking Omni.
Degenerates, trans people, and
Oh my god.
Jews.
Oh
The
my
feminization
God.
of culture, the gayification of culture, the pussification of culture. My wife was recently watching some woke Netflix documentaries, and the point of the documentaries was how, quote, toxic and problematic The Biggest Loser and America's Next Top Model were, if you remember
why?
those were reality shows in the 2000s. I never really watched either of these shows, but apparently they were
Why?
fun.
Like they got these people and like gave them like heavy incentive to like get healthy.
And the vast majority of them kept the weight off. I think it was the BBC. It might not have been the BBC, but one of these companies tried to run a hit piece on Jillian Michaels recently, and they only interviewed the people that fell off and got fat again, basically saying her whole show was a scam and it didn't work because they cherry picked the few people that were not in good shape. Most of the people throughout like 4 seasons of that show or however long it ran were able to maintain after the show ended.
Funny, edgy, and hilarious. Coaches would yell at fat people and tell them to get their fat ass back on a treadmill.
Yeah.
Tyra Banks, who actually sounds based as hell, would roast the shit out of women who wanted to be modeled.
Did you watch the show Biggest Loser? Yeah, back in the day. I was never huge on reality TV. I watch Biggest Loser now and again, but I've never been a reality TV guy. Only exception being cooking shows, because I love cooking shows. Like, Master Chef, Guys Grocery Games, Hell's Kitchen. I love cooking shows. But beyond that, I didn't watch a whole lot of reality TV. Vagabond with a 5-banger. Need dude bro culture back and couch to be barrier to entry. Hell yes. Couch co-op. I've been saying for ages. Me and Hypno were talking about this the other day. I don't care about multiplayer games if couch co-op is not an option. Couch co-op should be mandatory. Split screen mandatory in multiplayer games. You can have your online options. I get it. That's the world we live in. But if you do not have an offline split screen co-op option, I don't want your game. You suck. Vagabond, this is for you.
I'm on HIV medication and I want Leon to rail me.
Shout out. Thank you, homie.
It sounds great. And guys, it all goes back to fuck your feelings. We had balls in the 2000s.
Yep,
you don't like
true.
it? Cry about it. Stop being a little bitch.
Yep.
These Netflix documentaries perfectly capture what fucking pussies progressives have become today. They talk about how, quote, problematic Tyra Banks and Jillian Michaels were, even though all
crazy.
they were doing is telling fat asses to get back on the treadmill. I think...
And it's true, because fat people are gross and disgusting and don't deserve love or rights.
this is a perfect analogy to what we are seeing today and why video games have become so bad. And we only have ourselves to blame because we allowed trans people, gay men, and women to work at these companies. Old games were edgy. They didn't give a fuck. They were fun. They didn't take things too seriously, and they were primarily designed to entertain men.
Dude, this guy is fucking pissed off. Dude, this guy is like ultra mad. This
Games
is great.
today are
He's
soft,
so pissed.
safe, bland, sanitized, watered down, and gay, man. They're just gay. I was playing Grounded in 2020.
I hate the fact that I'm smiling at this. Like, because again, I don't like Andy Pants. But I love Leaflet so goddamn much. When she laughs, it's infectious, you know? Leaflet's laugh is so infectious.
And it has a checkbox at the beginning of the game that says, check this box if you have arachnophobia. It basically turns all the spiders into blobs floating around. Like, imagine if Silent Hill 2 at the beginning of the game had said, check this box if you don't want to see the
That is kind of crazy, though. That is kind of crazy.
pyramid head sex scene. Like, what is wrong with people? So guys, how did this happen? How did edgy games from the 2000s get replaced with Fortnite and Roblox slop?
I don't want to hear any of this imagery of a 50-50 split of the sexes when it comes to gaming. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Because Sevi actually did a really good video on this. And as such, I stole it and reacted to it. But I'll find her version because, that would be the right thing to do. Videos. Meme meltdown over a meme. Microsoft, where is it? Tube goes down. Discourse base, no. And just Mass says it's from Netflix. Xbox Game Pass fail. Am I just not seeing it? I know she did this video because, like I said, I reacted to it. Oh, right here. There we go. I'm gonna link you guys this video. What are you doing? Stop. There we go.
Hello, everybody.
Watch this when my stream is over. Watch that when my stream is over. She did a kick-ass video breaking down and debunking the 50-50 split bullshit. Great video debunking that shit.
And what I think it all goes back to is the fact that progressive women,
That's a Nerf Maverick.
gays, and Redditors do not have.
That's like one of the best Nerf guns, the Maverick.
You wouldn't see Killer 7 made today, you're right. But guess what I got in my Steam library, son? Guess what your boy got in his Steam library? Motherfucking Killer 7. Motherfucking Killer 7 in my Steam library. Just in case I ever get the urge to play it again. Just in case I ever get that little itch. You know what I'm saying, son?
Have God in their lives.
I used to mod those.
Therefore need to project their incorrect morality on the world around them to justify their own pathetic existence. Let me explain. In the 90s, who were the only people complaining about violence in video games? It was Christian Karens, right? It was our moms.
No, he's wrong. This is one of those revisionist history things that people like to whip out there. That it was, one side or the other. In the 90s, it was not just the Satanic Panic, not just the conservative Christians. This was the uniparty at work. Yes, bingo, bango, bongo, IB to EB. Tipper Gore. Tipper Gore, a lefty loon even back then. Now, Tipper also went after video games, not just music. Not just music. Tipper Gore went after video games as well. This was a concerted uniparty effort. Both the radical right and the radical left went after video games in the 90s. I get so goddamn annoyed at the left getting a fucking pass when people talk about what went down with the, with video games and whatnot in the 90s after Columbine. That was a uniparty effort.
That's
but
true.
today, who are the, quote, religious people of today? Who are the, so to speak, priests and bishops of our culture today calling out things and calling them wrong?
Mhm.
Is it not the woke people? Is it not ironically the degenerates who are
Why?
calling things?
It's still both. It is still call it what it is. Call out the right wing. Call out dumb motherfuckers like Matt Walsh. Because it's don't get me wrong. Yes, the woke as well, and they're a large part of it. But you've also got the Christian conservative far right. You've got idiots like Matt Walsh who still try and blame violence in video games as if we don't have study after study after study for decades at this point proving that there is zero correlation between violent tendencies in real life and violence in video games. So yeah, no. Like, this is why I don't like Andy Pants. The dude is not a factual individual. He says just a bunch of emotion-based shit to drive his agenda forward. Now, I do a whole lot of making fun of the left. Fair enough, I do. Because, frankly, it's fun and it's easy, and they are the problem a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, truth is truth. It is not just the woke or the lefties or whatnot that are a blight and a stain on creative expression. It is also the right wing and their outright refusal. It's not just ignorance. It is a refusal to engage with culture, to engage with pop culture.
Right or good or evil? And do you guys see the irony here? And that's a problem. They call everything you do white supremacy, even though you're just a white guy who wants to live his life. They create words like toxic masculinity to make men feel bad about their God-given desires. They preach diversity, except when it's a bunch of fat, purple-haired white women in a room. No, they're fine. They don't need diversity. Have you ever thought to ask this question? Why is it only the majority white countries that need diversity?
Yep.
Guys, I hope you see what I'm getting at here. Wokeness isn't just a cancer. It's not just a symptom of a mentally ill person who screeches whenever they see Trump. Wokeness is an alternate religion. It's an alternate faith.
I've always thought
it
that.
It elevates the gay black lesbian to the status of a demigod. And by the way, I know tons of black people who actively hate this woke shit and are tired of being used as pawns by white.
There's plenty of them in chat.
Who the fuck is Leaf?
Liberals. So guys, I guess what I'm saying is this. In the 2000s, entertainment was allowed to be edgy because we had free speech. We had a free market. Christians, for the most part.
Vagabond, that would be you. Yes. Props to the token black in my chat right now. Shout out.
Wanted entertainment to be fun.
I played a little bit of Bully. It wasn't, I mean, I bet it's aged really well, and I bet if I went back and played it now, I'd really enjoy it. But there were so many other games at the time that I was playing that I liked so much more. So, I didn't play a whole lot of Bully.
And didn't feel the need to project.
How did this happen? Like, how did every single video game
Andy Pants is always smoking crack. He is a moron.
Company. Like, how does every video game company get big? Oh, it's okay. The reason why is because they have a heckler's veto. That's why. So what happened? So this is what happened. You have a company, right? And then that company makes something successful. And this is like kind of what I said before, how a company will become successful, but then they want to expand. And by wanting to expand, you have to lower your standards in order to like get more people, right? So you lower your standards, and once one of these people gets in, complains so much about shit, or they effectively,
even if it did glorify bullying, Vagabond, even if the game Bully did glorify bullying, which I mean, again, we know it didn't, but let's say it did. Good, fucking good. Bullying needs to come back. We like there's a reason that the millennials, the generation that really grew up with the massive PSAs and anti-bullying propaganda, are such fucking pussies now. Because bullying was the worst fucking thing that could ever happen to you. Fuck that. Fuck that. Bring back bullying. Bring back bullying. You need some goddamn bullying. Teach you not to be a loser. Teach you not to be a fat piece of shit. Bully someone into going to the gym. What up, Kratos?
have a heckler's veto because nobody...
No, Sir Orkington, no it didn't. It still exists, just more online. No, it didn't. There is no such thing as online bullying. There's no such thing as cyberbullying. That shit doesn't exist. It's not real. If you got the ability to block, if you got the ability to mute, if you got the ability to turn off the computer, if you got the ability to turn off your cell phone, if you got the ability to basically make the bullying stop with the press of a fucking button, then it's not real. then it's not fucking real. There is no such thing as online bullying and no such thing as cyberbullying. There's just weak-willed pansies that don't know how to turn their fucking phone off. And I wasn't yelling at you, by the way, Sir Lurkington. I'm just, I heard about cyberbullying so goddamn much, you know, over the last 20 years. And it's just like, yeah, homie, there's a block button, you loser. You gonna get so upset, spaghetti, over mean words on the internet? Go fuck yourself.
Else cares, but then they'll drive a big stink about something, and then what happens then is that people who are in HR and stuff, they're like, well, we don't want to deal with this, so you know, it's like a pain in the ass to deal with this. Like, it's much easier rather than to get sued and have to deal with it. It's so much easier to just.
Now that being said, you should still use cyberbullying to bully politicians, by the way. Like the cyberbullying is real when it's politicians. So make sure you do that. There is no law against calling AOC a faggot.
Just like, right, so then they comply, and then more people get hired to that company, and it's just kind of all from there, right?
Our values onto culture. But what we've seen since 2011 is the rise of literally Satan himself, the woke religion. It's a religion that feeds on the blood of young children as it sacrifices them down the garbage chute in the form of.
Thank you for the 100 serums.
What up, AJ? It's like we started talking about black people, and all of a sudden y'all be popping up. We got Vagabond, we got Kratos, we got AJ. What up, my black people?
The games are asked now because it's the shareholders, or they want to the progressive message. I mean, that is true too, because it's like, as with anything, when there's passion for the end product, that's when you get the best result. Now, if the incentive is instead money.
God of the Sea says Leon is right. I know. Y'all get used to it the longer you're here. You'll find out that I'm right far more often than people realize.
Instead of actually making a good product, then you start to have problems.
Hundreds of thousands of abortions.
Don't forget, a lot of these people in games were failed Hollywood writers and artists. They went to the next best thing. Yeah, but then the game companies hired them, right? It's like I said, I remember.
Game companies actually pay better. That's why they hired them. It's not that they're not failed Hollywood writers and stuff. I mean, that's true too. But the gaming industry pays better.
Remember distinctly.
Or at least it used to. I don't know if it still does, but it used to.
When I worked in the industry, we had cultural questions. So like when we interviewed people, we had cultural questions. Like it wouldn't be always about skill. So like I've done many interviews, you know, when I was working in industry.
That was literally, so AJ, when I said, what up my black people, put Leon on that Stib Shimmy meme, I had that meme in my head when I said it. That's why I said it as such. I'm glad you got the reference.
And it was like, of course you ask them like, oh, like here's like a technical test, or here's like a you know, like a test that shows your prowess in a specific skill, right? But then like other questions were not for that. They were cultural questions. They were like, are you gonna fuck the culture up here? And so we all would ask really ridiculous questions. Like one of them was, tell your worst joke, right? And so like that's like a really good question, like tell your worst joke, because
tell your worst joke. Worst joke. She mean worst as in like a joke that's bad, or a joke that's like you know, fucked up and dark and dirty? I don't know what she means. If she means worst joke. Chat, what's a pirate's favorite letter? What's a pirate's favorite letter? Runaway Vagabond says R. You think it's the R, but it's really the C. That's the worst joke. Now, if you want to hear one of my personal favorite dart jokes, one that you could still probably get away with saying at work, but by the same token, like it's just a good joke, right? Just a nice little fun one. I was at my backyard digging a hole when I found a pot of gold. Ran into the living room to tell my wife, and I remember why I was digging the hole. There you go. That's a pretty good bad joke.
That question requires you to actually analyze the line, right? You have to know. So my worst joke means I have to say something, but then like not go too far over the line. So like, where is that line? You have to analyze and be able to tell what that line is. So it was a really good fit question because you can immediately tell like where a person was on that, right? I used to, for my question, my culture question, I used to ask people, which Toho would you fuck? Not like that. I would say like, I would say like, if you could fuck one Toho, which one would it be? What if they?
If you could fuck one Toho? What? Like Toho, like the company that make Godzilla? I mean, I guess I'd pick Mothra because that's the only female, right? Because I'm not gay. I think Mothra is the only female Toho monster. I don't want to fuck a dude, even if it is a like kaiju. Oh, Toho Project. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I went somewhere very different with that. Y'all just learned a lot about me.
Didn't know Toho? That was the question. That was a part of the cultural question I asked. I used to interview people with a puppet. I would like tell them that the puppet was interviewing them. Did you have any?
Oh, Toho is a series of anime girl games. I did not know that. I didn't know that. Moving on.
Interviews that knew the puppets? I had one and I told him to hire him. He actually did get hired. He was really good. He made Fizz.
These white progressive women doing this stuff and they must be stopped. These white progressive women doing this stuff and they must be stopped. Reject the woke religion. Reject mind control. I'm a Christian, but I don't need to see my particular religious
I love
values.
Fizz. What do you mean Fizz? Fizz is such a good character. What? Fizz is a good character, like gameplay wise. He's really fun.
Rejected on every form of media around me. I'm
Okay,
simply
Fizz
tired
is
of
annoying as fuck. Okay, but that doesn't mean he's poorly designed. You know his design intent was to be annoying as fuck. You know that, right? Like his archetype, like if you look at him, he looks annoying as fuck. He's supposed to be annoying as fuck. Just like Teemo.
Seeing gay.
I like her justification. I like that she out there is like all these years later still going to bat for her boy that she hired. Leaflet a real one. Leaflet ride or die. I'll respect the fuck out of this bitch.
And Jews and Redditors running all the media I consume. I'm tired of diversity. I'm tired of the obsession with multiculturalism. I'm tired of the hatred of white people. White people created the internet, toilets, modern plumbing, and Western society itself. These are our culture.
Yeah, God bless America.
And because colonizing is based, we took the best part of other cultures. Oh, that food? Ours now. Because colonizing is based. And we need to get back to it. We need more colonization. I said earlier, America needs to colonize the UK. America needs to colonize, well, no, we don't need to colonize the Middle East. We can just glass all of that. We don't need any of that. Glass all the Middle East. We just need to colonize pretty much all of Europe and colonize and glass everything else, and we'll let Japan keep being Japan because, well, and we'll let South Korea keep being South Korea. We'll let those two countries stay, and then we'll either colonize or kill everyone else.
Every other race allowed to have a culture except for white people. So bringing this all back to video games, guys,
I totally agree with this, by the way. It's very annoying. It's very annoying to me. White culture specifically is just openly attacked by everyone, openly minimized. Let's be real. It's the culture that has created like the most cool shit. The most like human advancement came out of what
I literally said colonize the UK. That was the first one I said combined.
White culture. Like, let's not be stupid here. Let's not like do some fucking coping here. Let's like be honest about history.
Let me tell you how we get back to the 2000s. We do it by this. Number one, make art and stop caring about what people think about it. Number two, do you and stop looking to other people for
Does glassing include Turkey? I said the whole Middle East. Did I fucking stutter?
affirmation. This is what the 2000s was all about. Just make something, man. Make what you want and forget about the repercussions. Forget about what people are going to say. Just do it, man.
Nah, Mass Hysteria, that you'd make 4, I think. You, AJ, Vagabond, Kratos. So that's at least 4 blacks. I want all my blacks to tell me in the comments if you're black. And don't be lying. I'll know. I'll know if you're lying or not, because if you spell it correctly, then I know you're white.
Man.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Pussification.
That's what I've been doing.
Reject gayification. Dude, our culture has become so fucking soft, man. Be as offensive and as edgy as you want and let the chips fall where they may. All right, I'm out.
See? Vagabond is black. I know, right? Vagabond is black because you just said it. What are we spelling? Right there. Well done.
400 years.
You pass.
Yeah, I'll send it. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just making whatever I want. And I mean, that means on both edges of that spectrum, right? So, like, if I want to make a character that's gay as fuck and soft as fuck, then I'll do that. Like, I'll make whatever I want at this point, you know? Correct.
And let the free hand of the market decide. That's what I've always advocated for. Make whatever game you want, whatever character you want. You want to make a woke as fuck, tranny-infested game? Go for it. So long as you're doing it of your own accord, you're the artist, it's your creative vision, and the free hand of the market will decide. And I'll be real, that game's gonna fucking fail. Ain't nobody gonna buy a woke-ass fucking tranny-filled game because there ain't enough people to cater to because that's not an actual portion of the market. But in general, that's how you would do it. No fucking focus groups, no corporate overlords, no goddamn, what are they called? Consultation companies. You make what you want, and if what you make is gay as shit and it doesn't sell, that's because you made something gay as shit that nobody fucking wanted.
No.
Alright, great video by Leaflet. I don't give a fuck about Andy Pants, but great video by Leaflet. Yeah, no government funding, exactly. I'm your second favorite after Hypno. I'll accept second after Hypno. That's fair. I'll accept second after Hypno. Alright, crew, we got more to talk about. We haven't even gotten to the Mario Galaxy stuff yet. But I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I do. So y'all gonna get a chair stream. I'll be right back. What up, chat? We're back. Yeah, that's right. You got Chair of Paradise. You're goddamn right. You got Chair of Paradise. Has anyone seen the live action One Piece series? Oh, I hope Mervoth isn't in here. I hope Mervoth ain't watching. Yes, Hypno has delisted his streams, correct. You didn't mute, you hear the stream splash? You tried, War Wizard. You tried. I appreciate the two-banger. Let's see, have a BRB clip? I do have a BRB clip. I just think the chair streams are more fun. Everybody likes the chair streams, so I do the chair streams. And you need to try Ethiopian food if you hadn't had it yet. I mean, I'll try anything. I'm a junkie, dude. I'm a food junkie. I love cooking. I love cooking. I love eating. Yeah, I'm a foodie, boy. I would absolutely try Ethiopian food. There's a lot of foreign food that's real good. Peruvian food is great. Argentinian food's great. Lebanese food is great. South African food. Chair screams give us a chance. Yeah, exactly. Fab for a 2-banger. So this is quality live stream content. A chair. You could goddamn right. Y'all like this chair is where Hondo used to shit before he died. Thanks for bringing that up and reminding me about my dead best friend. Thanks, Fab. Appreciate the 2-banger. Appreciate the 2-banger. Alrighty. All right, crew. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Grace Randolph. Grace motherfucking Randolph. Now, Sevi told me that I need to react to this trailer. This was going to be today's video. But I got super busy last night. I was up all night working on something special. Working on something real special. So yeah, instead of making this a video, we do not live, baby. We do not live. Yeah, I know Kate hates this movie. Kate is retarded. This movie was great. The movie was great. Saw Mario 2 yesterday, guys. I saw Super Mario Galaxy yesterday. It was a blast. It was so much fun. So much fun. Oh my god, it was probably, man, what else come out in theaters this year? This may have been the most fun theater experience I had this year. It was, like, you know how there can be magic in the air. You can feel it. It's palpable. All of the children in the theater that were just laughing at the jokes. And, like, I get, you usually don't want, like, kids talking during movies and whatnot. You don't want kids talking during movies. But when you hear, like, a little 4-year-old boy point at the screen and go, Yoshi! And they're all excited. It's great, dude. It's great. I love it. That's that good shit. See these kids excited for stuff. They're vibing. And it's not something stupid like the fucking Emoji Movie. Imagine and there was adults there. Dude, there was this couple that was in, like, they must have been their fucking 60s. No kids. It was just an old couple. You know they played Mario on the NES back when they were in their 20s. And they were there. Holding hands watching the fucking Mario Bros. Movie. It was great. Okay? So there's, yeah. Oh, there's no plot. Shut the fuck up, Kata. It's not what this is about. It's not what this is about. There was magic in this theater, dog. And I've heard that this review of Super Mario Galaxy is so goddamn cringe. It is so goddamn cringe. We gotta do it, baby. We gotta do it.
Look, when it comes to the first Super Mario movie, I've said some things, you've said some things.
I fully believe this voice is not a put on. I've seen too much Grace Randolph over the years. Like, she talks like this. It's just normal for her. It's so bad. So bad.
And I'm pretty sure we all still stand by what we said. Yet here I am in a Super Mario hoodie that even has Mario and his cat suit on it. If you...
Everybody blame Sevi for this, just so you know. She told me I had to see this. I want to make sure y'all know that if you hate this portion of the stream, if this hurts you, if this crushes you, if this traumatizes you and gives you daddy issues, it is her fault, not mine.
You recall my first review, you'll understand why that's particularly ironic.
War Wizard says, Sevi, being hot only gets you so far.
So how'd I get here as a non-gamer? Well, it's been a journey. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. It all began when I saw so many Nintendo fans getting such joy from the first film. And I was like, something that brings that much joy must have something going for it.
She's not wrong. I hate admitting it, but she's not wrong. That is a very valid way to look at it. I'll give credit where it's due.
And then I became very interested in Universal Studios' Super Nintendo World because I love me a theme park. I was all in on when it opened in Japan. I looked at all the photos when it opened in...
Lexus, you say you've already checked out? Just trust me. At some point in the video, she talks about how Bowser is a symbol of the toxic manosphere. This that's really why we're watching this. I want to find out at what point she talks about Bowser and the toxic manosphere. And no, Fractal Mage, she's not doing a bit. This is her content, her voice. Go to any of her reviews. This is just what she is. And no, they didn't lose a lawsuit to Pal World. I was talking to Hypno about this last night. They had their patents, which were affecting Pal World, rejected.
Los Angeles. And then I went to there myself. I would like to go to there when it opened in Orlando. It had a whimsy to it. And my family and I rode Yoshi's Adventure. All the other lines were too long. To relax after a long day at the park. And it became my father's favorite ride in Epic Universe. So,
hey guys, Sevi's back in chat. Anybody have anything you want to tell her? Anybody have anything you want to tell Sevi, preferably in super chat form? Just saying.
So that made Super Nintendo World all the more special to me. And then the first trailer for this movie came out, and I laughed in spite of myself at Tiny Bowser's antics. Trimming the bonsai bush. If I don't get my 8 hours, then he said he turns into a real monster. I was like, that Bowser, I relate. And I was impressed with Bowser Jr.'s magical paintbrush and was enchanted by the Luma stars. So beautiful. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a popcorn bucket, man. The demand is...
Sevi, people want to say how much they loathe you for putting this on the screen. Because I wouldn't know about this if it weren't for your glowing recommendation.
It's too high. All right, not to mention this poster. It's gorgeous. So yesterday, I was like, let's go all in. So I went to the Nintendo store here in New York City, and with your help, thank you, I purchased this sweatshirt. I wanted to get a tiny Bowser, shrunken Bowser, not Bowser Jr., a shrunken Bowser stuffy, to replicate his littleness in the movie. Or maybe a green Yoshi, since they didn't have Bowser. They were sold out of both. I didn't want anything else. And then I sat down with my popcorn and M&Ms and was ready to party.
Guys, I heard this in elementary school, and I don't know if it's true. But I live my life as if it's true, and it has helped me not be a fat fuck. I had a health teacher in first grade. That's how long this was. It stuck with me. It's been like 1999 or some shit. And I remember it all these years later in 2026. Health teacher came in and said, to burn off the fat of one M&M, you need to walk the length of a football field and back. One single M&M. Now, I don't know if that's true. That could all be made up gobbledygook. But if you live your life as if that's true, you will not become a fat fuck.
Been posted on Instagram, which I've gotten back into, and I really like adding music to my posts. I wish we could do that on Twitter. And I selected a track from the soundtrack of the first film, and I was like, this is so delightful. And I downloaded...
You're not true, the most you can have.
The first movie soundtrack on my Apple Music account. All right, so as I said, it's been a journey. I was ready for fun. What did I think of the new movie? It's okay.
Guys, that was the intro. That 3 minutes. That 3 minutes was the intro Now, I have a reward for you guys after this video. All you need to do is make it through the video, and I have a reward for you. Okay? Just stick with me. We're on this train together. All right? I'm your conductor, Captain Leon. Just trust your boy. Trust the process.
And that's coming from someone who went in really wanting to be able to give this movie a good review. And it's okay is really as far as I think I can reasonably go. I think the best way to describe it is that during some of the more fan servicey moments of the movie, the Nintendo fans at my press screening went, yay, like in a very muted way. Like you could hear them, but it was like a golf clap. And, you know, maybe they were holding back because it was a press screening, but I think that's the appropriate level of yay for this sequel.
Nah, she wrong. She wrong. There were some, and I know that we hate member berry culture and whatnot, when it's like, oh, Star Wars, look, Luke Skywalker's back on screen. Oh, hey, he's Ahsoka. Hey, remember this, remember that? I know we hate that shit. But this movie does it well. It does. You can do that sort of thing well. And this movie does do it well. Like, I never thought in my life I would give a fuck how Peach got her signature parasol. And I'm not going to tell you guys how it happens, because you need to see the movie. But when I saw how Peach got her signature parasol, and how she uses it throughout the movie, I fucking loved it. It was so good. So good. The member berry stuff works.
I was hoping everyone was going to be going crazy. I was looking for a Minecraft experience. I loved my Minecraft experience, both when I went.
Now, I ain't never seen Minecraft. I don't have any plans to. The fact that she loved her Minecraft experience kind of tells you everything you gotta know.
Went to the press screening, and then when I went to a regular screening, it was nuts in the best way. And that's very much what I had been hoping for here. The trailer that I love so much, that had pulled me back in just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Those are all the best moments in the
favorite Mario character ever, King Boo.
Movie. And that's really frustrating. There are a couple of other additional things that I liked, but for the most part, they gave, I think, all the best parts away in the trailer.
I highly disagree. I thought that first two, most of what you see in the trailer is like the first 20-ish minutes. There's a whole ass fucking movie after that. So no, they did not give away the best parts in the trailer. She's wrong. Also, they did the Marvel thing where the stuff that you see in the trailer is actually different in the movie. It's actually a very well-cut trailer when you juxtapose it to the film. War Wizard Fred two-banger. Leon, I'm not going to make it. Well, look, because I am a grifter extraordinaire. $20 super chat or a cumulative of 20, and we'll move on. We will need to watch the Bowser masculinity part, though. I do need to see that. Sevi, member for 6 months. Oh, darn, look at the time. I have a meeting. I'll be back when she... Oh, darn, look at the time. I have a meeting. I'll be back when she is on screen. I can't do a Latina accent, but you get what I'm trying to do. Shout out. Yeah. Cumulative of 20 in supers, and we'll skip to the Bowser masculinity shit, which I think is like... Yeah, right here. And then we'll get off of it.
And also, the movie went by so quickly. It's just an hour and 38 minutes. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Fractal, that's not... Yeah, no, none of that. None of that, Fractal.
How long the first movie was, and I forgot to look it up. But anyway, it's only an hour and 38 minutes, and that includes the credits, the end credits, which is like usually 10 to 15 minutes or something. And that includes, by the way, 2 credit scenes, a mid-credit scene and a post-credit scene. The one at the very end, you definitely, if you're a Super Mario fan, even if you're not, it's a big deal. You need to stick around. But
Matt Stanford says, skip! All right. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word. Let me play you a clip. And then we will watch the messaging portion because we gotta know what she says about Bowser and Toxic Manosphere. And then we will just move on to the other Mario thing. God damn it, says okay, I feel bad for chat, don't blame me. And then we got Fab. I'll have to play my Steam Deck. Can't take it anymore. Bye, Leon and chat. Okay, so that's... Let me give you all a few clips real quick.
I will come anywhere you want me to come.
All over his backside run?
I want to fuck you in the ass right now. Thank you. It's nice to get some appreciation around here.
I know you've done absolutely nothing productive today, but who gives a shit? You're just a weird little gay boy doing the best you can, and I'm proud of you for making it this far in life as a gay little weirdo. Keep shining.
Like, I don't think humans were meant to see sissy hypno inflation compilations.
But hey, by the way, did you know that I suck dick as a man? I lick the ass of other men. But really quick, I lick the balls of a man.
3 clips for 3 supers back to back. Keep shining. Here's what we'll do. One's in the chat if you want to hear what she has to say about Bowser. 0's in the chat if you want to skip. So 0's if we just cut the video all together. 1's if you want to at least hear the Toxic Manosphere about Bowser. I will let chat decide. Oh, it's pretty even. It's pretty even. 1's are slightly winning. Yeah, 1's are winning. All right. 1's are winning. We're going to check what she says about Bowser. And then after that, we'll move on.
I said, you know, a lot of people are like, it's just Super Mario, man. But I feel these are things, well, I think they should. A lot of problems with the message have been. Then, I still have some pretty big problems with the messaging of this movie. So,
all right, so she has problems with the messaging. Now, I want to give you guys some context here. Without spoilers, there actually is a good fatherhood story in this. There is a... It's done in a weird way because it's Mario and it's wacky. But there's a good fatherhood story in this movie. So I'm curious what she has to say.
let's discuss it. You know, a lot of people are like, it's just Super Mario, man. But I feel these are things, well, I think they should be pointed out. I continue to feel that Bowser and now Bowser Jr. are a little bit too actually evil.
What? Sorry, guys. I realized I was silent there for so long. I wasn't muted. My brain was rebooting. The bad guys are too actually evil. That's... Okay, hold on. Hold on. We won't be here long, I promise, crew.
Like, it goes beyond cartoon villainy. I think maybe
Spoiler alert, it does not go beyond cartoon villainy.
Because they kind of mimic, like, the toxic manosphere that is, like, I don't know if it's...
She said the words! All praise be to Allah! She said the words! I thought it was a... I thought this was a cope on X, that it was people overreacting. It's real. You can't ask for better content than this, baby. Zalozy for a 2-banger says, you thought it was bad before? Oh, baby. Yes, God of the Sea. We win.
It's becoming more and more popular if it's maybe finally reached its breaking point. But, you know, I see a lot of similar talking points there. And the movie at first seemed like it was going to be a journey of redemption in that regard. But I was surprised that
it is a journey of redemption, but in an inverted way. And I don't want to tell you guys because it would spoil it, and it's actually clever. That's why I don't get why Kata didn't like this movie. It does a very clever inversion of a redemption. Like, this is the proper way to subvert expectations. And if you're an adult, it won't really subvert your expectations. You'll see it coming because you're an adult. But for kids, this is a very good introduction into proper subversion. I'm not saying spoilers. I'm not saying any spoilers. I'm being very vague. I will not say spoilers.
They decided to not do that, right? I was like, what are you therefore trying to say? Like, they're certainly not the first cartoon villains to kidnap a damsel in distress, but for some reason, it's...
Lessus, member for 6 months, shout out, thank you, says, You see, Bowser Jr. is more gay to fucking ugly chick than a feminine-looking dude. Fuck, I think I might agree with that, actually. I think I agree with that. Because, like, if you go about it with Caesar's rule, where only the receiver is gay, so if you're the giver, and you're fucking a feminine male, as opposed to, like, a 400-pound truck stop monster, I think you know, being the giver in the male situation is actually probably better.
Feels a lot worse here.
And you gotta understand, it's because ugly people don't deserve love at all. Like there is a logic to it. Ugly people don't deserve love and happiness.
And then, well, of course, it was very touching to see Bowser and his son bonding. How can you cheer that on when they're bonding over, like, genuinely evil activities?
What is she talking about? What did that sentence mean? It's not even so profound that my dumb caveman brain can't understand it. That sentence just meant nothing.
I guess, like, I think the difference is that in other fantasy stories, villains are villains. And
in this fantasy story, the villain was a villain. Villains were villains.
Usually pretty inept ones. Like, you know they're going to be defeated in the end.
Does any brave, strong, virile male in my chat think that you can fix her? Let me know.
But Bowser and co., they're more effective than your typical cartoon villain, and the audience is asked to sympathize with them, laugh with them, and relate to them, right? It's like if in Silence of the Lambs, they were like, you know, Buffalo Bill's actually a pretty cool guy to have a drink with, and you were like, yeah.
Did she just compare Bowser and Bowser Jr. to Buffalo Bill? Holy shit! I'm so glad the ones won! War Wizard for a 2-banger. Careful, Leon, you're walking a fine femboy clip line. Clip me all you want. I will stand by my words. Ugly people don't deserve love. It's better to fucking do than an ugly woman. Holy shit! Guys, she filmed this. She is a professional film critic. She filmed this. She wrote these words down as part of a script, and she put this on the internet to live forever. I don't care if the Jews control the world. We live in the best timeline.
But we can't get over the but, you know? I mean, I think... All right, so then with the princesses...
All right, and that's it. She's on to the princesses. All right, that's it. So that's enough grace. That's enough grace. Are y'all happy? Are y'all happy? Grace is gone. Grace Randolph isn't real. She can't hurt you anymore. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Oh. Oh, baby, that was good. I feel like I need a cigarette. Chat, was it good for you? Good goddamn. Alrighty. So here is your reward, chat. Here's your reward. Lady Decade. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, I haven't reacted to Lady Decade in a while. She's great. She's awesome. Don't let this screenshot fool you. It's just a weird pause. There's more. Leon Sevi said the whole video. Well, nah, but then we paid. They paid to not do the whole video. Sevi paid 20 to say she's sorry about the whole video. Okay, I feel bad, chat. Don't blame me. Yeah, no. So here we are. This video is the Mario Galaxy movie Backlash is pathetic. Now, if at any point she goes into spoilers, we will click away, but I don't think she does.
Backlash is pathetic.
No, I'm not forgetting about you, Matt. I was just addressing they were calling out Sevi specifically. Don't you play me like that, son. Alrighty, let's see what Lady Decade has to say. Lady Decade is great. When the video is done, I'll put her stuff in the comments for you. If you're not familiar with her content, she is truly fantastic.
The Mario Galaxy movie Backlash is pathetic. I took my family to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and for the entire runtime of that film, the cinema was alive. I could hear loads of children laughing. I could hear their parents laughing. And
see, what did I say? But before we even started watching the Grace stuff, what did I say? That the magic in the air of the theater was palpable. Dude, my theater. Let me explain. I didn't even properly explain this. I went at 4:40 p.m. on a Wednesday. The theater was sold out. 4:40 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. The theater was sold out. How is that not a great fucking thing?
at one point, I could hear a group of adults a few rows behind me belly laughing at what was happening on the screen. The atmosphere was lovely and warm and joyful, and exactly what you go to the cinema for. And when the lights came up, my kids were very happy, and I was happy, and everyone around me appeared to be happy. And then when I got home and read what the critics had to say about this whimsical fun, all I can say is that it was far from pleasant. I am Lady Decade, and if you like your commentary unfiltered, then hit subscribe, because today I want to talk about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, about the extraordinary gap between what critics are saying and what real audiences are actually experiencing, and about the ongoing disconnect between paying customers and the so-called professionals who are meant to advise us what to watch.
And that's what a critic's job is technically supposed to be. To inform the consumer. And when you have got such a disconnect, when the critics and the audience have such a disconnect, then how could you even say they are doing their job properly in informing the consumer?
Let us get the numbers on the table first, because they're genuinely striking. The Super Mario Galaxy movie currently sits at 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, based on 69 critic reviews, and a rather brutal
And you want to know who wrote those reviews? Fucking Sonic fans.
36 out of 100 on Metacritic, based on 33 reviews, which places it in the kind of territory normally reserved for films that are actively incompetent or genuinely offensive. And
37. Hold on. Let's take a quick gander at something. I'm truly curious. Dragon Ball Evolution Metacritic. Critics are actively trying to tell you that Dragon Ball Evolution is a better movie than Super Mario Galaxy. I want that to sit with y'all for just a fucking moment. Dragon Ball Evolution has a 45 on Metacritic from the critics. Mario Galaxy has a 37. Can you actually rationalize that in any possible way? So, when these professional critics say that they don't like this movie, when Kata tells you that he doesn't like this movie, sorry, don't listen to him. Keep giving him the views, hate watch his video, that's fine. Love you, Kata. Guys, how many of you in the chat are aware of Tiger King? Tiger King Rex Carter? You know, typical viewer here around these parts. I'm pretty sure y'all know Tiger King. What's he famous for in the chat? Like, what is Tiger King Rex Carter famous for around these parts? Fractal Mage got it. The guy who despises everything. Tiger King Rex Carter hates, not hates, he specifically told me not hates, despises everything. He liked this movie. The guy who despises everything. You could be talking about something totally innocuous on a stream. Be talking about fucking plantains. He was like, I despise plantains. And grapefruit too. He liked Super Mario Galaxy. Yes, I am floored at how, what an abject failure the critics are on this.
Normally reserved for films that are actively incompetent or genuinely offensive, and yet, based on current tracking, it is expected to...
You wanna know what? I loved Brie Larson as Rosalina in this movie. Unironically, I did. Now, if you go back and watch my videos when she was announced, I said it's no big deal. She's come a long way. She hasn't said anything stupid in a long time. She's actually been on kind of a winning streak. She defended Johnny Depp. Like, I've been very, very polite to Brie Larson for the last few years. She was great in this. She also only has like 5 fucking lines, but she was good, and like it worked. I liked Brie Larson as Rosalina. I liked Rosalina in this movie a lot. I like Rosalina a lot in the games. So like it worked.
Earn somewhere in the region of $175 million domestically across its opening 5-day Easter weekend, and up to $350 million globally, which would make it one of the biggest box office debuts of 2026 so far. What that tells you, with the clarity of a mathematical proof, is that professional critics and the cinema-going public are not watching the same film. Or if they are watching the same film, they are doing it with entirely different sets of priorities and entirely different ideas about what a film is supposed to be. The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw, for example, awarded the film 1 out of 5 stars and described...
1 out of 5... for a movie to be a 1 out of 5... it has to be an embarrassment on a technical level. Like, how many actual 1 out of 5 star movies can you really think of? Even movies that we hate, odds are not 1 out of 5. Like, for a movie to be a 1 out of 5, it has to be so objectively, and I do mean objectively, poorly done. Like The Room. The Room is a great example, War Wizard. The Room is the reason The Room is so much fun is because it is so objectively bad. Not these subjective measurements of, oh, a thing made me feel good or whatever. It has, the acting is objectively bad. The score doesn't even have one. The camera movement, the shot composition, it is all measurably on technical levels bad. In what world, even if you don't think this is a good movie, in what world could you compare Super Mario Galaxy to The Room or World of Worlds 2025? That's another good example, Thallow. Yes.
It as a bland screensaver of a movie that's actually worse than AI. The Independent's Clarice Lothry, also giving the film 2 out of 5 stars, called it the first film intentionally made so it can be divided into parts and uploaded to TikTok with the caption "Prime Mario Aura Farming," going on to say that a generation of kids are being robbed of art that encourages curiosity and imagination in order for adults to be
Really? What was the last kids movie that was art, that encouraged curiosity and imagination? Because last I checked, kids movies nowadays, all they do is shove gay sex and shit in them to try and indoctrinate your kids into being trannies. I don't think that there's a lot of artistic integrity in most children's media nowadays.
assured that the passions of their lost childhoods were very cool and very important. And then we have Variety's Owen Gleiberman, who described the film as frenetic in such an impersonal...
Alright, you know what, Free Flow? That's actually a very good answer. Puss in Boots 2. You know what? Good answer. I will legit give you that. Puss in Boots 2. Well done.
In a way that it feels like the entire film should be put on Ritalin, adding that as a commercial enterprise, this more is more Easter egg hunt of a movie will clean up exactly as it's designed to. Aside the fact that people will enjoy it is somehow an indictment rather than a recommendation, Gleiberman is essentially saying, this movie will make money, people will go to see it and enjoy it, and that is precisely what is wrong with it.
On the one hand, I get it. I don't like it when people pay money and enjoy things that are bad. I get that. I don't like that people, for some reason, are convinced that the Resident Evil remakes are good games. I don't like that people are paying money and enjoying Resident Evil 3 and 4 remake. Because they're fucking awful. They are bastardizations. So I get the sentiment. However, this is not the same in the slightest. To try and pretend that this movie has no character, that this movie has no plot, that this movie has no positive message, that it doesn't do technically great things, like the animation in this is beautiful. This might be one of the most beautifully animated complete CGI films I've ever seen. And Illumination is great at that. Illumination is very good in that department. This movie is stunning visually. The score is incredible. All the light motifs, all the ways they work in music from the games, but they actually are fitting to the mood and what's happening on screen. The way they did the music in this was excellent. We all knew what this was going to be. It is a Mario movie. It follows exactly what a Mario game follows. If that is your job, which is to adapt the game, it did so very well. And it did it with more emotion than any of the games have done, even if that doesn't exactly take much.
The fact that families are going to have a good time in his framing is the damning evidence. That is a remarkable thing to say about a children's animated...
Exactly, Lessus. Mario's not Citizen Kane. 1 out of 5.
...film released over Easter weekend, and I would argue it tells you rather more about Owen Gleiberman than it does about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The argument that The Independent's Clarice Lothry is making, that children are being robbed of art that encourages curiosity and imagination, is not even a film review in the conventional sense, it's a manifesto. It is a statement of ideology dressed in the language of criticism, and it positions the professional critic as the guardian of children's cultural development against the depredations of a film that dared to be bright and entertaining and full of things that children who love Mario are going to absolutely recognise and adore. Now, as
I'm not going to say what it is, because it's a spoiler. Usually the developers of Doom releases they want an animated Doom series. There's an animated sequence in this, not CGI. There's an animated sequence in this movie, and it's fucking awesome.
Said, I am a parent. I took my actual children to see this film, and I can tell you with the confidence of someone who was physically present that they were not sitting there with their imaginations being suppressed. They were having the time of their lives. They were engaged. They were excited. They were at several points almost levitating with joy. If Clarice Loffrey would like to explain to me which piece of Criterion Collection cinema I should have taken them to instead, then I'm all ears, but I do not think she would enjoy my response very much at all. Speaking of fantastic value family entertainment, I can get you 26% off a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online family membership, as well as up to 90% off of thousands of the greatest games around. From
Good lead-in for her sponsorship or her plug or her promo or whatever. That was expertly timed.
Huge money off Resident Evil Requiem to savings on Crimson Desert. Using my links, I have you covered. Each purchase supports videos like this and provides fun for the whole family for less than usual. Happy shopping, and I hope...
Nicholas Patton. I was also confused in the marketing for the appearance of Fox McCloud. In fact, I didn't like that Fox was going to be in the movie. It is perfectly explainable. It is perfectly explainable.
Hope you enjoy the rest of this video. Now,
it makes sense within the context of the film.
The Robbie Collin review in The Telegraph deserves a look too, because it takes a very different approach that is in some ways much more revealing. He describes the film as the most cravenly corporate film of any type since its 2023 predecessor, and compares it unfavorably.
The most cravenly corporate film of any type. We live in a world where Solo, a Star Wars story, and Indiana Jones 5 exist. And this is the most cravenly corporate. Toaster baths. Mandatory toaster baths for these people.
In terms of its commercial intent to what he calls something Michael Haneke took to Cannes in 1998. And I just want to take a breath and appreciate that sentence for a moment. Michael Haneke is, for those of you who are not familiar, the director of Funny Games and Cachet and Amour, films that are celebrated in critical circles for being challenging, deliberate, uncomfortable, and not remotely aimed at children at an Easter multiplex. Think about how ludicrous that is.
I'll take it. This or Sonic over modern Star Wars or Indiana Jones. You're telling me? Indiana Jones 5 is my least favorite movie ever made. It's not the worst movie. Again, if we're talking objectively, there's obviously worse movies. I have watched Nazi propaganda films that I enjoyed more than Indiana Jones 5. It is truly... I hate it. My least favorite movie of all time used to be Forrest Gump. I would now, if given the option of the two, I will watch Forrest Gump before I ever watch Indiana Jones 5 again. Now, I will say, Mario 2 not near as good as Sonic. Not even my, like, obviously I've got a Sonic bias. Obviously I got a Sonic bias because I'm a Sonic fan. But if we're just talking about objectively the films, the Sonic movies are better movies. They've got far better plot, far better character, just all the things that, far as structure as a whole. But again, that's not really what you're going to Mario for anyway. And nobody's gonna pretend it is. Leon, rank your top 10 favorite Nazi propaganda films. I only have 9. See, I can do it too, Gord.
For a second, a Telegraph film critic is comparing a Mario movie unfavourably to Michael Haneke. He is genuinely doing that. Talk about comparing apples and oranges. The entire premise is wrong. The entire framing is wrong, and the fact that it appears in a mainstream national newspaper as though it is a coherent and useful piece of consumer journalism is, to me, genuinely baffling and a further example of why the legacy media is dying. Professional film criticism, particularly at the more prestigious end of the spectrum, has spent the last 20 years or so building an increasingly elaborate framework of values that is almost entirely disconnected from the experience of the person who buys a ticket, parks the car, and sits down with their children and a bag of popcorn. Within that framework, a film earns points for being challenging. It earns points for being literary, for being slow, for dealing with difficult subject matter in a measured and non-commercial way.
And where did this notion come from that films have to be challenging? Things can be good without being challenging. You know, making a burger is not challenging. In fact, it's one of the easiest foods to make. Hey, shout out, thank you for the sub, Lane. Lane? Fuck it. Point is, thanks. Making a burger is not challenging. In fact, making a burger is one of the easiest things you can make. But if you make it right and you don't do fast food burgers or whatnot, it's good. It's good for you. Challenge does not inherently mean good.
Loses points for being fun, for being fast, for being primarily designed to make an audience of normal people, including children, feel good about their afternoon. And the consequence of that framework, applied rigidly and humorlessly to a Nintendo animated sequel produced by Illumination for Universal Pictures, is a review like Peter Bradshaw's, which awards it 1 star and compares it unfavourably to artificial intelligence, which, again, I cannot stress this enough, is a thing that a human adult wrote and published as a serious piece of cultural commentary. What strikes me most about so many of these reviews is not the negative scores so much. Critics are entitled to not enjoy a film. Not every film is...
Correct. It's the reasoning. It's not whether you gave a film a 1 or a 10 or any number in between, because those numbers are ultimately meaningless, right? They're arbitrary. Unless you can rationalize and justify said score. You need to be able to explain what your scale is, why your scale is as it is, and why this film falls where it does on said scale. And when your whole thing boils down to, like Lessis said earlier, it's not Citizen Kane, so it's a 1. What the fuck does your average consumer have to go off of with that? Again, the idea of being a critic, of criticism, of professional criticism, is supposed to be to give something, a helpful decision-making tool for the average customer. Look, whether you loved, oh my god, why am I blanking on their names? Siskel and Ebert. Whether you loved Siskel and Ebert, when you hear them talk about movies, agree or disagree, you could tell they put thought into what it is. Like, they would always, this is specifically Roger Ebert, he would review children's movies in a very different manner than he would review something like The Matrix. As he should have. God, this is painful.
For everyone, and a professional critic who attends dozens of screenings a year has spent their career immersed in the full range of what cinema can achieve, is not necessarily going to respond to a Mario movie in the same way that a 6-year-old who loves the games responds to it. That is not inherently a problem. The problem is that so many of these critics appear to have forgotten that the film was not made for them and that the experience of the audience it was actually made for is a legitimate and important consideration that their reviews almost entirely dismiss. The rap's William Bibion.
The audience is made for being the operative term there. Like, trying to think of, I don't like war movies, right? There's not really my thing. I'm not a big fan of war movies. You know? Now, can I sit down and watch a war movie and objectively measure things like, oh, hey, the shot composition was good, the narrative through line, you know, it makes sense, again, the narrative makes sense from a plot perspective. I can, but I don't want to review a war movie. I don't like war movies, so it's not going to be, I'm not going to have anything to add beyond the technical. I can explain why I don't like the war stuff on a subjective, from a subjective point of view, but does that help the person that likes war movies? No. You need to get someone who likes war movies to inform other people who like war movies whether this war movie is good or bad. Like, that is the person that should be giving the information to the potential customer.
Arnie at least acknowledges the visuals and the film's respect for its source material before concluding that none of these things prevent it from also being terrible.
I don't like war movies, by the way. I should specify war movies from like the 90s and onward, because I like the real gritty, dark, fucked up 70s war movies. War movies from about the 90s and onwards, starting with Saving Private Ryan, which I also fucking hate, are just so pretentious and romanticized and like have this faux deepness to them that I can't buy into. Like, and there's obvious exceptions to the rule. Like Band of Brothers, I know it's a miniseries, not a movie, but still worse. Band of Brothers is a masterpiece. Band of Brothers is incredible. Do I like Inglourious Bastards? It is some of Tarantino's weakest work, in my opinion, but I do like it. That's not really a war movie. That's like calling fucking Star Wars a war movie. I guess on a technicality, sure. But no, it's a roller coaster using a real war as a backdrop, but it's fucking fiction.
And that the film has the word movie in the title, and that's where it wets the bed. Which is, I will grant you, a memorable turn of phrase, but it is also a review that only makes sense if you believe that the only valid measure of a film is whether it satisfies the specific intellectual and aesthetic criteria of a professional film critic, and not whether the people it was designed for had a wonderful time watching it. I want to contrast the critical response with a couple of the more logical reviews, because they do exist and they do matter and they do demonstrate.
Have I seen Schindler's Fist? Isn't that a joke internet sketch made by the guy that made Jimmy Neutron and Kung Pao? I could be wrong.
It's that it.
No, I didn't like 1917. I respect the technical work behind 1917, but I don't like it, no.
It is entirely possible to engage with this film fairly. Andrei Lukovsky of Time Out, who gave the film 60 out of 100, wrote that it is not deep, but it's made with love, and it hits the spot.
That is a fair review. 60 out of 100, while using this rationale, that's fine. It's not an ideal review, but I can at least respect this one more than some of the other trite gobbledygook she's read so far. Well, Schindler's Fist is an online sketch. And if he meant Schindler's List, the original, I fucking hate Schindler's List. I do. Schindler's List is a dog shit movie. Now, that being said, it is also the greatest comedy ever made. Schindler's List is the greatest comedy ever made. The X-rated parody would be Schindler's Lust. Nice.
Which is, I would argue, a perfectly accurate and enormously useful description that tells you exactly what you need to know before buying a ticket. The Seattle Times' Soren Anderson, in one of the warmest reviews, wrote that watching it is akin to being inside the 2007 Super Mario Galaxy game itself.
And you want to know what a great compliment that is? Because think about it. Again, I don't know what she said the score was. I'll have to roll it back. But I'm going to, read this as if it's positive, because one of the main issues in adapting video games are an interactive medium. So when you adapt a game, you're already cutting off a dimension. You're cutting off the fourth dimension of interactivity. So if a movie can cut that off and still be, like, so immersive that it is like being in that game, even without the interactivity that comes with having a hand on a controller, well, that's a success. That is absolutely a success.
Akin to Anderson in one of before buying a ticket. The Seattle Times Soren Anderson, in one of the warmest reviews, wrote that watching it is akin to being inside the 2007 Super Mario Galaxy game itself, and argued that it needs to be seen on the big screen.
Or if you have a TV with excellent fidelity. Because, again, this movie is a visual treat.
Because seeing it on a phone or a laptop wouldn't do it justice. Those are useful reviews. They tell you something true about the film, and they respect the fact that the audience has different needs and priorities than the critic. The 1-star and 2-star reviews from The Guardian and The Independent and The
Fractal Mage, I want to as well. I legitimately, this would be a great mushroom film. Usually you don't want things with a lot of movement and whatnot, because, like, the idea of mushrooms is that all the visuals you get is from stuff that normally doesn't move, and now you're seeing it move. But because of the colors in this, I think this would actually be a very, very fun film to watch on mushrooms, yes.
Do not do that. They perform contempt for a film and, by extension, for the audience that is going to love it. And I think that last point is particularly significant when Clarice Lothry writes in The Independent that children are being robbed of art that encourages curiosity and imagination. She is not merely criticising a film, she is criticising your judgment as a parent.
That is a really fucking good point. I hadn't actually thought about that. That is an attempted indictment on the parents taking their kids to see this. Which is crazy, considering, again, parents, took their kids to see fucking Lightyear. Michael Doberman says, I love this woman. Yeah, Lady Decade is fantastic. And her second channel, Lady Arcade, where she reviews classic game consoles and arcades and stuff, also worth the watch. Her deep dive on the Dreamcast is brilliant. Yeah, I'll link this afterwards. Everyone should sub to Lady Decade. She's a great creator.
For taking your child to see it. She is positioning herself, a professional film critic, as the person who knows better than you what your children should be experiencing.
I'll link it after the video.
She is looking at a cinema full of families having a genuinely wonderful afternoon and deciding that the thing worth writing about is what they are missing out on. Seriously, what an out-of-touch moron. I find their behaviour extraordinary. I find that the level of detachment from...
I advocate for emotionally mature kids films. We can have kids movies that are just fun. The Iron Giant and Good Burger can coexist. So, and it's interesting because while I agree they can both exist, this movie sits in between them. It is not emotionally mature. This movie is not emotionally mature. It is not The Iron Giant. But again, there is a very good and strong family and specifically fatherhood dynamic in this that, again, is oddly inverted because it's with the bad guy characters, but it still does work. So, like, yeah, Mario Galaxy rides this very strange line, and it's super heartwarming. Don't watch Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas on shrooms? Yeah, I've never done that one. Mario goes around the kingdom picking up coins and stars and whatnot. Could he be likened to a Shroomba? Like a Roomba, but shrooms. I get it. One of the complaints I've heard about this movie is it doesn't feel the most like Galaxy. Well, it's not following the story of Galaxy. It's telling its own original story while using the backdrop of Mario Galaxy. And it does that very well. So I don't really think that's a justifiable complaint. At least in my opinion.
Ordinary human...
Yeah, as far as Fear and Loathing... I never watched Fear and Loathing on anything, but I did watch Wolf of Wall Street on acid. And when it got to the scene with the Quaaludes, I was like out of my gourd. And I just remember looking over to my buddy who I was watching the movie with and was like, dude, I fucking love Rush. Like the band, Rush. I don't know why. It's not relevant at all to anything that's happening in the movie. But I had to tell him in that moment how much I fucking loved the band Rush.
Experience genuinely staggering because I was in that cinema earlier. I heard those children, I heard those adults, and I am here to tell you, as someone who was actually present with actual children, that nobody in that building felt robbed of anything. They felt exactly the way you go to the cinema to feel, and no amount of one-star reviews in...
Tom Sawyer's good, but it's not my favorite Rush song. Tom Sawyer is good, but it's not my favorite Rush song. The Trees and Working Man, probably my favorite Rush songs. The Trees and Working Man.
Prestigious national newspapers is going to change that, which is perhaps why the film is on track for a $350 million global opening weekend, regardless of what any critic has to say about.
350 mil global is banoodly, bro. I've been saying, and time will tell if I'm correct or not. I've been saying that I think this movie will outperform Spider-Man 4. I do. I think that Super Mario Galaxy will outperform Spider-Man 4. I don't know if you guys in the chat agree or disagree. Gail Caramon says it probably will. When people ask me if I've ever listened to Rush backwards, I tell them sure. That's funny. That's one of your best I've ever seen, Gord. Well done. Yeah, Gord says, see, and no offense to Gal Caramon and Fractal Mage, but like, if Gord agrees, because as much as I think I know about film, by the way, for those of you, hey, mods, Gal Caramon, link Gord, for those of you guys that don't know, Papa Pumpkin is Gord. Link his channel in the chat, please. Anyone that's here that is not subbed to Papa Pumpkin, Gord King, he is one of the best film reviewers in our sphere. Like, one of the best. Criminally undersubbed, because his, account was fucking nuked and it's unfair. He is incredible. Like he is right up there with Niet and Sexy Vexy. So, anyone that is not subbed to my boy, please do so. Excellent and hilarious videos. But yeah, give my man some love.
About it. The gap between what professional film critics think matters and what audiences actually want from a trip to the cinema has been growing for a long time, and the Super Mario Galaxy movie is simply the latest and most vivid illustration of it. The critics were similarly brutal about the first film in 2023, and that...
She is correct. The critics were ridiculously unfair to the first movie, and for whatever reason, I thought this time around it would be different. Because the first one made like $1.25 billion. So I thought that maybe, just maybe, the critics would swallow their fucking pride and actually give this movie a fair shake. Yeah, they did not. I was naive. I was so damn naive. Mario has a ton of momentum for the first film and good faith. MCU has so much bad faith to overcome that even Spider-Man could suffer a result. And that's what I'm thinking. That is exactly my mentality. There is plenty of good faith. Plus, I do think that globally, Mario has a bigger market. You've got like 4 generations of parents to grandparents to parents to kids, and some kids even have kids of their own at this point. Mario has been a household name since, 85? We're in 2026 now. That's 41 years. Like, Spider-Man, I get it, has been around longer, but I don't know that Spider-Man's a bigger name. In America, it is for sure. But I think globally, Mario might just also be the bigger name, the bigger IP.
That one went on to make $1.3 billion worldwide, which is not a number that suggests audiences were missing something. The pattern is consistent enough now that it stopped.
Yeah, Minecraft didn't end up crossing a bill, did it? Didn't it top out like 970 million, I think? Barbie beat Mario, but I don't think I think Minecraft didn't even hit 1 billion. I think it topped out like 970 million.
Stops looking like a disagreement and starts looking like a fundamental incompatibility between two entirely different ideas of what cinema is for. And I think most of us, if we are honest, already know which side of that disagreement we are on. The critics are welcome to their screensavers. The rest of us were busy having a brilliant time, and if you want to hear me talk about what I thought some of the most enjoyable moments in the film...
Nah, Mozart. Nah, BMO. Like, go in knowing what it is, but it is fun. Like, I'm talking about the first one. And really, you don't need to see the first one to see the second. You might be confused as to why Bowser is shrunken down and tiny, but I mean, oh well, you're an adult, you can figure it out. But no, the first Mario movie is also a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. 961.2 million. Nice.
Well, check out my video.
Gord coming in with a Seinfeld reference. He didn't even want me to. He's like, nah, I'm tired of making my own jokes. I'm not going to steal from Seinfeld.
Go on how the Mario Galaxy movie changed everything over on my nostalgia channel, Lady Arcade. And if you want to treat your family, don't forget that I can get you 26% off a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online family membership and as much as up to 90% off of...
And that is the end of the video. Yeah, guys, I'm going to link this in the chat for you. If you're not subbed to Lady Decade, definitely do so. She is very fair. Like, she holds a lot of these same ideological opinions in the gaming space as you know, myself, Hypno, whatnot. But she is very professional about how she portrays it. Excellent channel if you are not familiar with it. So I would, again, just highly recommend checking out her content. And I think we're gonna wrap the stream there. It's almost 5 o'clock my time. So I think it's I think it's about time to wrap this bitch. Let me see who is live. maybe Mia is live and we can do an actual proper raid this time. Considering what happened yesterday was very unfortunate. Let's see who's live. Yes, Mia is live. Alright, so considering yesterday's issue, we're going to raid Mia. We're not going to raid her after every lunch hour. We're going to continue to raid other people, but given yesterday's issue. So I want all of y'all to go over to Mia's chat. Words of Paradise, Vital Idol raid. I want to thank you guys all so much for sticking around with me. We've been live for about 4 hours now. This was an awesome-ass stream. Tomorrow, couple announcements. Tonight, watch party in the Discord for Black Dynamite. I've never seen it. It'll be my first time seeing Black Dynamite. We are watching Black Dynamite in the Discord. If you are a member, get on it, doggone it. To quote our boy Camelot, we'll probably be starting around 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, give or take. Black Dynamite. And then tomorrow is the 10K celebration Neon Leon. Me and Cinevere, maybe some other cool cats, we'll see, are going to be going hard in the paint, doing a 10K sub celebration. So you'll definitely want to chill out with us for that. Thank you, Gord. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And with that being said, again, thank you guys for the donos. Truly appreciate you. Tell Mia, Words of Paradise, Vital Idol Raid. And until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.